What's up, geeks and gamers? This is Warzan bringing you another video. And tonight, welcome to Hobby Night Live, guys. We're going to be getting stuck into some hobby. Have I just sickened all of you guys?
Yeah, you've been doing it all day. Stop.
Yeah, it's Hobby Night Live, and we're going to be announcing the winner of the Celestial Genesis painting competition. It was an invitational. 10 of the best painters in the world got involved in it. Tonight, we're going to be hobbying and celebrating probably the best in painting.
Oh, by far. The miniatures they sent us are just incredible. I can't wait to show them off more.
Now, before we get into any of that, we have to have the most important part of the night. Time for the gin, John! Yes, we have been sent the most beautiful bottles of gin to enjoy tonight. That's by community member Noijatat Gaz. We love you. Oh, yes. So, if I can get Justin to do the honours.
Can I assume the white spirits is for me?
Yes. I'm going to try some of the methylated spirits here at the back.
Alright, well, let me through.
So Justin's going to do the honours. Yes, we know we're not drinking from the traditional glasses that you might use for gin, but we do have some very nice high quality tonic at the back, and we're using the wine, the champagne flutes.
Yeah. Right, pick your poison.
Blue one, please.
Blue one.
Apparently, how much of a measure?
Yeah.
Modest.
Aye.
Modest, mate.
Family.
Modest. Yeah, it's Justin.
Oh,
About this much.
all right.
Oh, mama, that's a humdinger there. I really like this. Now, get in tight on this one. Now, get your hand out of the way, Justin. Hold it by the stem. By the stem, Justin. You can do
have
it.
that steady a hand. Say
That's
when.
it. That's it. Oh, yes.
They're good
Oh,
for you?
no, keep going. That's more like it. Yes, there we go.
He's celebrating. It's an
Okay.
award ceremony.
And now give it a tiny, drop one ice cube into it for me. Just one. Oh, yes. No, go that one. That nice long one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I put a bit of tonic into it.
Okay, I wish you'd put the tonic in a better spot.
Okay.
Or maybe not filled it quite so much.
Well, I wanted to get plenty in there, Justin.
Okay.
Again, by the stem, because apparently
Couldn't have put all
this
that
changes color.
things.
Oh my word! It goes pink. That is perfect for tonight. That is absolutely perfect for tonight. If you could do me the honors and hold the clipboard of doom,
Yeah, I have the clipboard of gin.
I will make a toast to Noijatat and all of the amazing community members of Beasts of War who are going to be hobbying their asses off with us tonight.
How do we put the sound up?
Go and get yourself a drink.
Someone saying it's too quiet.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that is awesome.
Ringing your
That
bell?
is awesome.
Can we turn it up?
Absolutely. Are we too quiet? Sound is very low.
Yeah.
We shall rectify that, don't you worry. The guys will start to pump things up a little bit. Right. On the comments, who have we got in here tonight? We have the Laughing Boy, cheers. We have Dave Hawes, cheers. We have we have
Bob
Noijatat, thank you. We have Bob Cockane. We have Oriskany. Welcome, Oriskany. And you know what? I'm really pleased tonight that you're not sitting huddling through a hurricane. It's good to have you on a peaceful night in Florida, man.
Where's the best place to join the chat?
The best place to join the chat is come across to beastsofwar.com, and we have the Twitch chat and all embedded on the swanky new 2.0 homepage that we're currently rocking out there. Tough Years is there, Midgetina's there, Tony Sylvie's there, Tonka73. Guys, it's absolute pleasure to have you. Right, Sam, I am going to shuffle you and Rama off to the studio where we can talk about the Celestial stuff. And while you guys are getting set up, I'm going to quickly go around some of the guys in here and find out what they're going to be hobbying on tonight.
Come on, Roman, let's go.
Right,
Let's go.
so Justin, me old buddy,
go.
me
Come
old
on.
pal.
Doing something very... So, we got sent these, if you'll remember, from Australia.
Yes, Recon63,
Yeah.
who I believe set his alarm clock to get up at 4 a.m. to come and join us tonight.
Well, today, buddy, I'm going to be building the Ursula Heavy Mortar.
Ooh.
And I may build the other Scuttlebug. I built the first one and had a lot of fun with it. Would you like to see it?
I would love to see it.
Alright, if we have a look under the hobby camera, you'll be able to see it just fine. This is a lovely little scuttling transport tank.
Yeah, Lance has forgot how to cut to the hobby camera, have you, Lance?
No, I haven't forgot. It's just not working.
Okay,
Something
well,
is non-functional.
something is non-functioning. Right,
But
so,
that's it right there. Sorry, I was looking at the screen going,
yeah.
So
Try it
I
again.
may build one of these. So
There we go.
I'll be just working through the HDF kit and actually having some fun putting one of these together. Or, well, not this one. I may build this one if I get the other one quickly, but there's a lot to it.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Ursula, Justin. As soon as I saw this, I thought, this is just the coolest thing. And this stuff is made by an Australian company called MiniatureScenery.com.
Yeah.
And they do some outstanding stuff. They do a kind of like a Millennium Falcon type thing.
Really? I am intrigued.
It's not the Millennium Falcon. It's a kind of a Millennium Falcon.
Is it the I can't believe it's not the Millennium Falcon?
No. It doesn't look exactly like the Millennium
Right.
Falcon, but you looking at it, you would feel reminded of the Millennium Falcon.
Gotcha.
But it's full interior detail and everything. Oh, and it's just like, oh man.
The levels of want just went up.
Yeah. Also, Recon63, if you're watching this, thanks again, man, for my hobby
you're
paint
legend.
stations. Yeah, he sends us the Anzac biscuits every year, and it's just great.
Yeah.
Now, before I move on, Joe, I'm gonna have to step you back because
Az says hi.
the gin is
Hi,
calling.
Az.
Hey, Az. Our congratulations to all of the guys over at Mythic for getting that awesome game Solomon Kane brought to life. We can't wait to get you guys in here and get some more games of that.
Right. Shall I
Right.
do it with John so you can see his hobby?
Yes, go ahead there.
All right.
So the camera work is all going to go downhill very shortly. And Jono, join me, John.
Hi, how are you doing? Hello, everyone.
I'm doing very well. Did you see the announcement this morning that we put up from Mythic Games?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, the first comment on it says, flippin' hell, John Lyons is going to shit himself.
Why? What was it?
And the comment from Mythic Games beneath it says, and that's the only reason we did it.
Oh, no.
Are you curious now?
I am curious, yeah.
Are you curious?
Yeah, what is it?
Only the most awesome looking weird World War II game on the way, man. It's like,
Oh, okay.
you'll want to check that out.
I know what Mythic are like. I need to-
Right, let's go around and see what Jono's working on tonight. Hi, Lance. Love you, man.
Hi, Warren. Love you too.
I'll come back
Thanks
to you
for
your
dragging
hobby.
me out of my holidays for this.
You're very welcome, man. You know, don't ever think I'm going to let you relax, dude. Right, round here. You fix my wire there for me, Lance. Perfect.
As usual.
Okay, Justin, can you come round? Oh, John. Oh, John, what a big one.
Yeah, some of you'll know that this is what I got from Warhammer World last week, and it's finished. But I thought for tonight, we had the Forge Bane box,
Yeah.
and we unboxed it, and everyone was really excited, and I said I have to do something with the 2 mini knights that are in it,
Yes.
and never happened, so I thought, well, tonight's a good opportunity to roll them out and actually start painting one on camera tonight. So that's my hobby tonight. He's already mostly built, and he's primed and his colours ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be painting that.
Audio Weasel has just commented that he would like to live in this studio. Audio Weasel, you'd be very welcome. You can come and live with us, man. We are like a commune.
Can
we
we
share
also-
everything, don't we, Justin?
Can we also say
It's
hello to
horrible!
Flickster, who is a very big contributor to Twitch streams as well?
Hello, Flickster. He joins our hobby hangouts and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Flickster,
he
we
does.
love you, man. You can come here and live with us as well. So, I also saw J.R.R. Tushkin. It's good to see you too. Now, okay, we're getting to the master hobbyist. It's the one. It's the only.
Where?
It's the Brother Lloyd. Hello, Brother Lloyd.
I don't enjoy such a big build-up.
I like your ring, man.
This is Justin's ring. He gave it to me earlier.
Uh-huh.
I'm just carving
It's a
it
little
up.
stressed out.
Well,
It's not in as good a condition as it was when you gave him.
it's one of your
To him.
leftovers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Justin and John have had a lot of fun recently with EVA film.
Yeah.
Playing with his ring.
Yeah, this is it. This is it right here.
We get it in there. There we go. Yeah.
So I was spying their leftover bits, and I thought, you know what? If I get some of this stuff, maybe I can make a portal. So I'm kind of like halfway through, sort of carving the big ring, really. So like, there's my scale.
Yeah.
So think Stargate, think
Yep.
fantasy,
Yep.
think swooshy stuff.
Swirly stuff. Yeah.
Except I won't have any swirly stuff. We'll just be able to see through Justin's ring. There won't be anything
Yeah.
in it.
So is it going to be the one ring to bind them all, Lloyd? Is it?
I was thinking it'd be good for like Age of Sigmar and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're making a portal tonight.
Yeah,
then,
I'm making
yes?
a portal. Yes, out of UVA foam. I don't know if it'll work. I'm currently carving all the sort of texture off it. Here's another one, Justin's leftover rings. So when I got Justin's ring earlier, it had all this roughness on it, this texture. But then there's a smooth side to Justin's ring,
Yeah.
right? So I'm carving all that stuff off. Otherwise, it's going to look sci-fi and not fantasy.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's completely knackered my knife.
Right.
It goes blunts within minutes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the
This-
EVA foam is hard on knives.
Yeah.
this may be me for the rest of the night, just carving this ring.
Sandpaper, like
Can I-
sandpaper.
Do you mind if I touch the rim of his ring just to
no.
feel what it's like on the inner rim there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite rough.
If
Yeah.
you do this, but it's really rough. It's a little bit
Yeah.
smoother over here.
It was definitely hard on the knife.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Right. That's will we talk to Lance? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on and talk to Brother Lance. Brother Lance,
Hello.
how are you, my man?
I am fantastic.
You
Well,
feeling?
I was.
You feeling relaxed and chillaxed?
I was having a great time on my holiday.
Yeah.
Today I went disc golfing.
You're
Disc
not gonna give me
golfing,
such-
Can I just make an announcement that Lance got engaged very recently
taste nice?
to a girl? Yeah, boy. He actually found one that would have him.
That's a bit rude.
She's lovely. She's
Hey,
absolutely
Warren will say the
lovely.
exact same when it's me.
Yeah, Lance has got engaged, so if we can get a few congrats and stuff like that coming up on the chat. And so this week was almost like your first trial honeymoon.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Was it all everything you wanted it to be?
Yeah, it was great. I went down cave diving.
Right, enough of that now. This is a family show, man.
It's okay. We went to the Marble Arch cave.
Oh, you mean proper cave
Yeah,
diving?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. I hope you were careful.
It was wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cold.
Oh well, you're engaged. You're allowed that kind of thing now. So
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
let's talk hobby, please.
I got this grunt stock on Holler last
sure
year
did, yep.
after UK Games Expo. And I haven't built it yet. So
He bought that last year at Warhammer World,
yeah, and it's been sitting on my table ever since.
taunting you,
Mm-hmm.
saying,
Taunting.
"Build my dwarven ass and get me ready for the tabletop."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just trying to egg out any kind of lewd comment.
No.
aren't you?
I'm being really, really nice tonight.
Can we have a look in your box?
Noijitat, that gin is amazing.
See what's in
Right.
there. You gonna
We'll
open
get
it?
So,
to
Lance,
I will
I tell you
get
what,
it.
I'm going to pass over to Lance now, and I'm going to go in and join Sam and Rama. I'm going to take the clipboard of doom, and we're going to fire this thing up. Remember, tonight, Lancey, get ready to hit me some buttons.
Yeah.
What
do you want?
What are the buttons?
Okay,
I will
so we
say.
need to
I
join
will
Twitch.
say.
How do we chat?
Okay, so tonight, if you're going to post stuff and likes to Twitter, 0.
This would have been a lot better. if you just gave me
Hashtag
that.
Hobby Night Live. So use that hashtag all night. Back to number 4. There we go. Perfect. Okay, next up, we are giving away prizes tonight.
This is a weird shot.
Prizes are what? That's not the right one. Oh, that was multicam, not mobile cam. Number 6, Lance.
It's Zed.
Is it Z? All right, okay. Right. We're also giving away vouchers tonight. So some of you guys will win $30 vouchers for Army Painter. In order to do that, what you have to do is
Project.
join in our projects, which is, well, sort of this one. Where's the forum one?
The forums are, let me see. Oh, I don't know where the forums are.
Right, never worry. Come on over and you can join in the forums. Come to beastofwar.com. No, it's bit.ly, isn't it? bit.ly/Hobby Night Live. It'll take you through to the forums. And on those forums, you can post up what you're hobbying on tonight. We're going to be looking at your hobby as well as all of the amazing stuff from the Celestial Painting Competition. And then we're going to, through the night, pick out winners. And at the end of the night, do we have the Hobby God bag in there?
No, we don't.
Nope. At the end of the night, someone's going to win a Hobby God bag. Dear me. Lance, get it together, man. Right. Bye.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I need the
have to
clipboard
come
of
into the camera
doom.
now. So, thank you very much for joining in this Hobby Night Live. if you want to join in the chat, the best way to come over is go to beastofwar.com and
Jen.
Jin, he's got his Jin. Come across to beastofwar.com and join in the chat there. If you cannot connect, go to twitch.tv/beastofwar. It should be number 9 on my keyboard. Let me just try that. Did it come up? I think so. Yeah, you can join the chat. We have individual prizes, so you can come in and get a chance of some 30 quid vouchers from the Army Painter, which is fantastic. Guys, are you ready over in the studio? We're all about professionalism here at Beast of War. Guys?
Yes.
Are you ready?
We are just about ready, yes.
What are you working on this tonight?
I'm working on Justin's ring. It's right here.
Let us know in the chat, because we're monitoring the chat all night from 9 p.m. when we started, I hope. Anyway, yeah, it's
Ish.
9:30 now. And we will be live streaming until 12 midnight.
Ready.
So come across. We'll see these guys now. So I'll transfer you over to them right now. Bye.
Get it in!
Oh.
Can't get it in. I'm gonna have to hold it.
Hey.
We're on.
We're on.
We're on. We're
We're
on. If I can come to the hello, Ben.
Hello.
This is Ben, everybody. So Ben is he is the guy that is watching all of your hobby. So all the cool stuff you guys are going to do tonight, Ben is going to be the one that just brings it to all of our attention. Ben is on a particular mission tonight to find just the best in hobby. Right. The chat is going mad. Okay. Borsnor says he can see this being a 2-bottle night tonight. I completely agree with that. Use tape. Fly by night. I think I will have to use some tape to keep it in. 87 Collins is working on a Legion Luke Skywalker. He's put the photos in the forums, but they're not showing all of the time. We will get the server guys to check all of that and make sure that everything's okay. If you're struggling sharing stuff on the Beast of War forums, don't panic. Don't panic. Go and upload it into a project. We have a brand new project system on Beast of War. So if you go into Beast of War and click on projects, there's a wee button that you can press there to create a new project. It uses a different uploading system. So if one's not working, chances are that one is working. Create a project and just drop your links to your project into the Hobby Night Live thread.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
we're going to be looking at some amazing models that have been sent to us for the Celestial Genesis Painting Masters Invitational 2018. And we are joined here, of course, by one of the judges, Roman.
Perfect.
That's me.
Yeah. Now, I'll just bring up the image here at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you can see, we had an astounding array of models here.
So these are the 10 entries
Yeah.
that we got. I even I can do a quick run through of them.
I'm
Okay.
insanely jealous. That's
So Sam very kindly did me the phonetics for the name. So Ramah, prepare yourself because this is going to be flipping amazing, man. Listen to this.
Yeah.
So first up we have Fabrizio Russo, who painted the Queen of the Void. Next up
Beautiful
we had
piece.
Enrique Velasco Sanchez, who painted the Queen of the Void,
but differently.
but differently. Next up we have Antonio Peña Jimenez, who painted up the Queen of the Void, but differently again.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have lumped them together in terms of the models.
Oh, right,
in
okay,
this
then
listing,
that
I
makes
will
perfect
say that.
sense. The next one, I love
pretty
this,
popular model,
because
this
it
one.
says phonetically, Warren, even you got this. The next one is Ben Comets. Yes?
Ben Comet.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go, Ben
Yes,
Comets,
wonderful.
who painted Twilight.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Alexandra Svetanovsky,
Yeah.
who painted Zurong.
Yeah.
Then we have Sergei Chaznik, who painted Zurong
Again. Yes.
again. And then we have Sergio Calvo Rubio, who painted Nua. That's,
Yes.
oh, wow. These minis are just
They're
unbelievable.
incredible, aren't they? It's so the skill involved in these. They're all arrayed out in front of us, as you can perhaps tell here.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
incredible.
Next up, we have Francesco Farabi, who painted Noah. You stop laughing at me, Ben.
Francesco Farabi.
Oh, Farabi.
Farabi.
I'm going by the phonetics on my clipboard of doom, man.
Farabi.
And then we have
Oh, this is
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh, this is fun. Oh, God.
Massimiliano
Massimiliano Ricciero.
Ricciero. How do we pronounce that one?
Massimiliano Ricciero.
Massimiliano Ricciero.
I am so sorry.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And he painted the Gagong.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely stuff. And then finally, we have Diego Esteban Perez,
Yep.
who painted the Ex-Hydra.
The
Sidral.
Zahydra.
Zahydral.
The
Hydra.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
this one I have no idea.
Yeah, no, but fantasy words we can't
Give
have
up! I
any
just give up! What
responsibility
can
for.
I do?
Yeah.
Right. Shall we also introduce our judges?
We shall indeed.
Yeah.
A fine
So,
array of judges we have arranged for
for
you.
the finest painters in the world, we had to select the finest judges in the world as well.
Me.
So the judging team.
All the time.
It's all Ben.
Ben
Yeah,
all the way.
All Ben.
So
all Ben.
the judging team consisted of Romain Darmon,
Thank you.
the amazing Chris Handley. That's that one. We had Tomas Menez. We had Ruben Martinez. We had Ángel Heraldez. We had Tommy Soul
Yeah.
and Dave Taylor.
Yeah.
Now these guys represent the cream of the hobby and painting industry.
Yeah.
So
I think you're making Roman blush.
Yes.
this man's amazing. Yo.
I was just there, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
If you want to see more of him, join backstage, buy merch.
yeah,
Always.
we will be getting a few more of the judges in via Skype as the evening progresses. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about their thoughts on these astounding miniatures.
Absolutely. Just to go back to the comments, just for a moment, BOW Ben wants ginned up. I think we can arrange that.
I've even got my own gin. I was sent my own Charisse gin.
There we go.
Genuine Vision says I'd murder a sneaky wee gin right now. You should all just move in with us. It'd be like a great big hobby commune, man. It'd be great. Lawnmower, he's looking forward to 2 hours of panicked repairs. Careful now. We're professionals, man. This is all going to be straight down the line.
to be fair, you need alcohol here.
Yeah.
You don't need alcohol to work it,
Dr.
but it
Ethereum
helps.
is saying we're just here. Flickstar, you can drink more volume.
think-
This is on till midnight.
I think Dr. Ethereum is Chris Handley, one of our
Exactly.
judges.
It is, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed.
So keep the comments coming, guys. Genuine Vision says in 6 weeks' time he may just do that. You'll be very welcome. Just come on over. We've got plenty of room. And Wargamer Haven wants to know if Ben is going to drink from a jam jar tonight. Ben, are you?
I
drinking
am.
from a
I
jam
am.
jar?
I'm drinking from my own upcycled gin glass, which is actually a jam jar. So I have gone full hipster.
Yes. This is what we're reduced to. Join backstage, buy merch. We'll buy him a mug. Okay, so Sambo, the votes tonight are split because it was a straight split between the expert panel of judges
Yes.
and the community were able to vote on
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes, the community voted on the Celestial Miniatures Facebook group where the painters have been posting pictures of their progress as things went along, and half of the voting is from them,
Yeah.
and then we add in the judges voting.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the judges awarded 10 points, and then we take it all together and we have our winner. In fact, we have the community votes right here. I'll just bring them up now.
Mm-hmm.
There they are.
Okay. So, the running order as it stands is we have Fabrizio Russo, top of the pile at the moment, followed closely by Massimiliano Ricciero, and then Alexandra after that, Francesco, Antonio, Diego, Sergio, Enrique, Ben, and Sergey.
Yeah. I'm actually just going to take a quick chance to look at Fabrizio since he's at the current of the top running. Here we are.
Yes.
Oh, God.
It's a beautiful piece.
Now we come to the part of the show where I shut up and let Roman talk, so that somebody that actually has
Well-
complete and utter knowledge of this can just wax lyrical.
Well, we're
about it.
gonna give Roman the chance to really wax
Yeah,
lyrical. He's
later on.
biting his lip now.
Oh.
If I'm allowed to before I commit suicide quietly in a corner.
It's just the talent that has been on show has
I
been
know.
absolutely incredible.
And in so little time too.
Yeah. Now, it's worth mentioning that the models that were painted are part of the Celestial Genesis range. So, Celestial is a brand new range being created by a new startup. They have created their first 6 models, and it's part of the Celestial, the Genesis range of the Celestial range. The Genesis of the Celestial range? This is the beginnings. This is the
Celestial
beginnings,
Genesis.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they are available to order. You can go and buy these now. So if you just check up Celestial Genesis, you will find these guys. They are the most beautiful resin pieces. The miniatures are sublime. A little bit later in Hobby Night Live, we have a few of the resin pieces. We'll bring them up onto the hobby cams and let you guys have a look at them. So if you fancy grabbing yourself some of these miniatures and having a bit of a go yourself, they are available, and you'd be helping out a small company get their first feet onto the ladder of this industry.
And it's not as hard as all that. You know, you may not get to that result, but you can do pretty great things.
Yeah.
It's your first step on the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And theirs.
Well,
So, great.
Speaking of where people are on the ladders, I think now is a good time for Ben to take us through one or two of the projects people are working on.
Yes, because Dunham99 says he thinks he's about to have an anxiety attack with Warren being so close to all those amazing models. Please make him leave the room. I fear for their safety.
Welcome to my life for the past 2 months or so.
They have kept these locked in a room, and they wouldn't let me go into the room unsupervised.
Yeah.
Dudes,
He
what is this about?
Not lying.
This is basically, I mean, the choice was either Warren or Sam, who has ADHD.
We both have ADHD.
It's how, why, I don't know. I don't know how they managed to stay intact.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Just by them breathing near them, you know.
So, as well as what they're doing, we're also having a look at what you're doing. So, Ben, are you ready to give us our first update?
yeah. I'm going to...
Yeah.
1 second, Ben. I am going to need you to control the computer there because I just looked around and realised the mouse isn't with me.
Here you go.
Just like that, a mouse appeared.
Does that mean that I just get to sit here and drink gin?
I had stolen
Yes, I
it.
believe so.
Fantastic. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's do it.
yes, I
I'm-
believe the
I'm
first
listening.
one we're looking at is from Noggin the Nog. Hopefully that should be the first one we're looking at here.
Yep, it is.
It is, yeah. Cool. So yes, this is some work he's doing, converting up a Tiger 1, as you can see here, that is actually a scale model to be used as part of his Macarius army. I think it is in Warhammer 40,000. So he's actually taking a historical model and using it within the grim dark future of the 41st millennium, which I thought was very, very cool indeed. It's all looking very nice there. I'm sure that John will have some things to say about what he's doing to a beloved tank, I'm sure, but otherwise it's looking very, very nice indeed. I think he's using, I think it was his Talleyrand army, potentially, that a friend of his was looking at in 1992. He's sort of using this now to sort of like upgrade it and stuff like that and change his army going forward. So a little bit of tinkering, a little bit of bodging there going on. I'm sure there's going to be some rummaging in a bits box potentially for that one as well. So very cool.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Okay.
If J.R.R. Toshkin says he wants to hear a historical fact about tanks, I'll give you a historical fact about tanks. No one probably heard this on the last Hobby Night Live that we did because it was quite funny. Not Hobby Night Live, it would have been Hobby Hangout. But tank tracks are the way they are so that they can lay down all the yellow lines you see on roads. Boom.
What?
That's how they were used back in the day. Yeah. Just attach the yellow paint cans to the back of the tanks and just let them go down the tracks. And you never saw them before World War II. Now you see them afterwards. There you go. Some tank facts for you. But anyway, moving on to the next thing because that's totally not true.
All right. You almost had me, man. You almost had me.
We're also going to be looking at the work of Tuffy Ears, who's actually going to be painting up some of the new Age of Sigmar Night Haunt models, which are very cool indeed. So as you can see there, she's got a lovely looking model there that's got the who you're going to call Ghostbusters thing on it. Actually, some people have already shown off some stuff of like their conversions of some of the Night Haunt, where there's one version of them carrying around some Tesco shopping bags and stuff like that. Other shops are available, which is very, very funny. But yes, some amazing work there. It's going to be nice seeing how the ghost effects and everything come together. It's going to be very cool, yes, indeed. But yeah.
Looking forward to seeing more
I
of these.
suspect they're using the new Games Workshop technical paints for that.
The washes.
Yeah, the ghostly
The
the
new
ghostly
ghostly
washes. So
washes, yeah.
they look very interesting. We're trying to get a hold of some of those because I want to try chucking them through an airbrush to
I brought
see.
some.
Did you bring some?
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
Very keen to
Excellent.
see them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Then next up, we're going to be looking at the work of Nogalad, who is following in the footsteps of John, who I believe is painting up his own stuff for the Imperial Knights. And this is him showing off all the kits and pieces that he's putting together for painting up, I believe it's a Cerastus Knight Castigator that he picked up at Warhammer World. As you can see, absolutely fantastic looking model there, and you can see some more of the sort of bits and bobs that he's been putting together for his Imperial Knights army in Warhammer 40,000. They really are certainly models that you can go to town with, do a lot of dry brushing with, play around with sort of weathering and all that kind of thing as well. So it's been very nice to see people working on the big knight models and doing something that contrasts very, very nicely between heavy metallics and then the armor, which is always very sort of old school medieval looking and things like that as well. So very nice.
Oh, that's a beautiful project. That is an absolute. Look at that bad boy there.
That's
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
I love
That
the
is
white.
super. The cream. What would you call it? Carapace kind of armor is just.
yes, yeah.
It's just beautiful. Love that. Absolutely love that one.
Okay. I think with that, it's time to return once again to the hobby hall.
Okay. Right. Well.
Yeah.
Come
And
to
what-
the hobby hall.
When we get back in here, we'll be talking to Byron from Dimension Games.
Okay. Awesome. Lance. Cut to you, man.
Your turn.
Tag, we're in. Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the hobby hall, where we're progressing our projects. I'm still working away on my ring. I will be on this for quite a while. Dawn, can I put my ring in here?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that, Dawn.
It's
How sweet is that?
a perfect circle.
Look how rough it is. I've been at that since 9 o'clock. Like an hour. No, actually before 9 o'clock.
Before 9 o'clock, yeah.
I need to rethink this as a process. I thought this would be lickety split.
Yeah, Dremel and a ventilator. That's what you need.
Yeah, the guys are saying Dremel for sanding this stuff down
Yeah.
rather than the knife, because the problem is, this was super sharp at the start of the night. Now it's just totally blunt.
You need a little sharpening stone.
How are you getting on with what you were doing, Joe?
I am doing just fine. I am dry brushing the bits for my little mini knight. So I have like most of them dry brushed. I'm just doing the arms now, and then I'm moving on to painting all the carapace and stuff in. So
Yeah, have you shown? You did show people off your big knight.
yeah, but
didn't you?
I can put them under the camera again. I can put them under this one.
Is it going to be the same color scheme as this?
Yeah, yeah. So
Ooh, sweet.
this is going to be part of an army I'm going to start making, simply because an army of these things is like 4 models.
Lloyd,
So-
I thought it was 6.
someone says WD-40 on the knife, Lloyd.
It won't help.
Oh, to make it slide through without gripping so much.
It won't help because what it'll do is probably get into the foam and actually start degrading it. Because it is an oil, isn't it? WD-40.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it could potentially degrade. I don't know. Tank factory.
You see, I could just change the blade, but I don't really want to just get to the end of the night and have like a complete block of done blades. Just
Yeah.
red. I should just get a sharpener. Have we got a knife sharpener in here?
No.
Oh,
Well,
I
what
have
you
extra
could do is, you know
blades.
the slide out blades you get for like 3 for £1?
Yeah.
Get a set of those.
Do we not have any of those lying about?
I
We
mean,
might do.
I mean, like tonight.
Yeah, I think I
need,
have some. I'll have a
I
look.
need some carving power tonight.
Do you want an extra blade? Because I have other blades in here. It's not a condom, it's an extra blade.
Why do you have blades in your wallet?
Because
Why is this a thing?
Is it these?
this is the safest place for them.
Is it these for these knives we got from like the foreground guys?
Ben, stop it with
easier
that.
knives. It's easier blades.
Stop it.
Whoa.
You can take.
Ben's been throwing
Yeah,
all
'cause I-
sorts of
'cause
weird
I went
facts
to-
at me
Yeah,
for
yeah.
weeks.
Will they fit this knife?
Yeah, well, it fit in that one, so.
I might change blade then.
Yeah, because I went to Bill's Hobbies the other day and I couldn't put it, like, I can't put it in a plastic bag.
Look at this.
A bit unsafe. It does look a bit dodgy, like, but
Why
Rest
is it in your
assured they are.
wallet though?
because it's the
It's a
safest
safe-
place for them.
It's a safe place to keep a blade, kind of.
I can't put it in a plastic bag because if I'd, let's say the plastic bag, I forget it and a kid picks it up and sees
Okay.
that, and they either think one of two things. They
I'm
think-
going to commit a crime
Yeah.
or something else.
Or I'm going to commit surgery on something.
Let's pop that back in. Down to change the blade. How you're doing your metallic effect, John?
Dry brush. Lots and lots of dry brush.
Dry brushing.
At the minute, it's just gunmetal over the black primer.
Yeah, can we go big on John again there?
You can go
Yeah,
big on me
we
anytime.
Go big on John.
There you go.
So it's just gone metal.
Yeah, it's just gunmetal. It's going from that to that, but I can. This does take a while on this because I'm trying to build it up and then I'm going to put a quick shade on it and then dry brush it again and then put a second quick shade on it.
Do people really think it's worth doing it this way though, rather than just making stuff metallic and then just washing it?
This gives you the depth to it. So if you painted that a solid metallic, it would look absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, but then you could just wash it again.
Yeah, but you'll still have too much of a solid color on there.
Maybe on the big flat surface, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying you should do it, because like I've been painting away at my Vikings, and some of them have been painted black and dry brushed up, and then some others I've just silvered it and then washed it dark tone. Two ways of doing essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
I see Ben says dry brushing up is like the way to go.
I would say
I'm
so.
gonna try and implement the forms here.
But
So
why Ben, do you think? Ben's saying on the comments here that it has to get back to black to look like proper metallic. Does it have to get back to black to look properly metallic?
Depends what look you're going for. If you're going for something quite cartoony, you can just paint it metal and wash it. That's what I did with my Wild West Exodus stuff, because I just wanted punchy block colors in it. So it depends on what you want.
I'm wondering if Lance is working on something.
Well, I'm not saying dry brushing. I'm not saying one method's better than the other. I'm just saying, is it worth the effort?
I think it's worth the effort. I think it's worth the effort because when you're dry brushing something, it looks a lot heavier.
But I find that miniature painters tend to think like metallics are a lot darker looking than they actually are in the real life.
But you're working on a smaller surface, so you need that contrast.
So you're saying it's the scaling. You have to scale it down to look appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, if anyone is actually looking to participate this evening and wants to join in on our forums, you can do so. Hopefully, if this comes up, please. There we go. You can go to bit.ly/hobby night live, and you can join in on the forum topic there as well.
The guys are ready in the studio, so we can go back over to the studio, please.
Right, are you guys ready in the studio?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're
See
going
yous
to
in
go
a bit.
back and check out what the guys are up to over in the Weekender set.
Hey everyone, we are joined this time by Byron from Dimension Games. Byron, good to see you again, mate.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me back.
Oh no, it's a pleasure, man. Just wanted to bring you on board to hear what you guys at Dimension Games have thought of this painting contest. How's it been going for you?
We have been absolutely blown away. I am speechless at the talent that's been on display. We've been watching it on like our Facebook, the Facebook group for the Celestial Miniatures. The painters have been posting regularly, and we've been watching their process as it's developed. I think you guys have some of that on Beasts of War as well.
Yeah.
And
Check the projects.
Yeah, I'm almost speechless just watching these people work. It's pretty remarkable stuff.
So Byron, what lies ahead for the range? So currently, there are 6 models that are currently available at the moment.
6 currently, and the full range is going to be about 9 for right now. Those are the ones that are finished and they're produced, and we're just slowly rolling them out. And then after that, we will have more and more and more coming in, and eventually Celestial will be going to Kickstarter, and at that point we will transition from the resin minis to like hard plastic minis, and we'll do that as well. So yeah, that's kind of the future for it. At some point in the future, there'll be a Kickstarter and games.
Are you guys able to talk about the I suppose the artistic direction, the concept behind the miniatures? Like, are we leading at some point to a game for these things, or what's
quite intriguing? Actually.
Absolutely, there's definitely a game for these. In fact, there's a whole series of games for these. There's currently, I think, 2 or 3 games scheduled that are being worked on, and each one is going to be kind of a season. Because it'll be a kind of a war game type feel, but there'll be also RPG elements in it. There'll be a ton of storyline, and each season is going to advance that storyline, and it's just going to be really epic. So we're very big on story, and I mean, that's my job. I write the story and stuff. So,
I'm interested.
Yeah,
that's,
absolutely.
Fine.
Byron, if people are interested in getting their hands on these minis at the moment, where do they go to pick them up?
shop.celestialgame.com.
There you go.
Nice and simple.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
Yep. Shop.celestialgame.com.
Now, just as a brief piece, Byron, can you tell us what the background of Celestial is, just so we can go over that?
So it takes place a long ago, and a race, loosely race because there's so much variation in them, but of creatures called the Celestials had been spreading across the galaxy, and as they spread through the galaxy, they became this enormous, great race, but they drew the attention of a great dark evil in the center of the universe called the Sea of Consciousness. And the Sea of Consciousness began to prey on the Celestials, and it began to destroy them one after the other. Planet by planet fell, and the Celestials slowly went from the dominant race in the universe to being almost endangered. And so one of the leaders of the race, whose name is Pangu, he took his group of Celestials and spirited them away to a planet that he called Earth. And there they started developing and trying to hide from the Sea of Consciousness. And but then one day, Pangu disappeared, and strange things started happening, and the remaining Celestials kind of erupted into a power struggle, trying to determine the future of their race, and that's kind of where the story begins.
Excellent.
Fantastic, Byron. Well, look, Byron, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
We are running somewhat behind schedule because of me. We're gonna hang up on you now, mate, and we're gonna get stuck into now finding out about each of the painters, each of the judges and their comments, and then we're going to be announcing the winner at the end of the show, who will have won themselves $10,000.
In the meantime, Byron, if you want to come over to the site and join in on the chat where everyone's watching the show.
Absolutely.
Retell that backstory for those who haven't quite got it.
Yes, not a problem. Okay, Byron, thank you very much. We will head back over to the hobby hall if Lance is paying attention.
I am paying attention.
Nailed it.
So, let me bring this over to Justin's palette here because we want to see what Justin's working on. But I'm going to show what I've been working on first. Justin, have you ever put something together that has a hinge?
Yes.
That was very difficult to work on. You want to show it off under a close camera there?
It's actually got a fair range of movement on it.
There we go. Yeah, this was kind of cool looking.
And it actually locks.
I actually wanted to put it upside down, but because the model is built in such a way, it didn't allow me to.
But I love the fact that it actually locks. You know, whenever you put it like that, it'll sit.
Yeah, I'm probably going to glue it. Sit in a certain way and then tilt it on a diorama.
Yeah, why not? I mean, like, it's your miniature. Do it your way. Here you go, sir.
Flatten the bottom.
Thank you.
Now, what I've been up to.
What are you working on?
So I'm working away on the Ursula, and this will make Warren giggle. I'm building tentacles. There it goes. All the wooden tentacles.
I love the tentacles, man.
Yeah, it's two of my favorite things.
Oh, they are very nice tentacles.
They're actually quite clever because it's 3 layers.
Yeah.
So you, in fact, I've got some still on the sprue.
Yeah, can you build one actually while people are watching?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, put these out the way.
Hello.
So, now this is what I have for when I'm working with this kind of stuff. Just brush, turn it around back the way to actually put pressure to it.
Okay, yeah.
To actually break the connection point.
You're making me nervous, man.
No, this is how you do it.
Okay.
So-
This is proper expertise, Justin.
You get the pressure exactly where the cut points are and where it's still joined to the sprue.
Justin was a carpenter. He's an expert in wood.
Yes.
Of course. And then they come out just fine.
Okay. Then what do you do?
Then these points here you clean off.
Okay.
So.
Don't cut towards yourself, man.
The way I cut is like this. I will never cut myself.
Oh,
Like-
here,
like-
famous last words right
Push it
there,
as hard
aren't
as I
they?
can, I will not cut myself.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll see.
Depends how much gin I have.
People are thinking that you're going to end up with sore tentacles, man. If you cut yourself and bleed all over my studio, you'll get a kick in the tentacles.
Who taught you anatomy? Seriously. Did they have biology when you went to school?
Do you rub that wood down with oil?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why would I do that?
Dr. Therium wants to know, do you rub the wood down with plenty of hot oil?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Now don't make me laugh or I will end up cutting myself.
87 Collins says he's used that technique and he has definitely cut himself.
I have never cut myself.
Board Snores says he knew a man that cut like that once and they called him Four Finger Tim.
Okay, cutting done.
Okay.
Alright.
Now you're going to squirt the white stuff on.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Delicately.
Just can you get it round that up to the end? Yeah.
Doesn't need to go to the end.
It doesn't need to go
Doesn't
to the
need to hit the tip.
end. Right, okay. Manda Pie wants to know, how old is Casper, Justin?
Casper.
Yeah.
What? I don't get this one.
Casper the Friendly Ghost. How old is Casper the Friendly Ghost?
I don't know. It's been years since I've watched that show.
Well, do you want to have a guess?
Yeah, like 9,
Okay.
10 years old.
Yeah.
12 at the max.
12 at the max. I think he's catching on, Manda Pie.
He was 11 years old in 1996. What age is
Oh,
he
he was 11 years old in 1996 when he died. What age is he now?
I don't do numbers.
Well, think about it while you're sticking it together.
Not a clue.
Well, have a
Someone can Google it and post it in the comments for me. No.
1996
Are we
was
using
how many
ghost-
years ago?
Are we using ghost years?
Yeah, let's say.
Oh, is there ghost years? Well, there is another tentacle belt.
Perfect, Justin. That's a wonderful tentacle. I'll put you out of your misery, right?
Right.
If he was 11 years old in 1996 when he died,
Yeah.
the age he is now
Would probably be still 11 years old.
is 11 years old. Well done, man. He finally gets there. 87 Collins was able to smell the burning from all the way over there, man. So, right. Let me mosey around here. Lance,
Hiya.
cameras. Yeah?
There we go.
That's more like it. So people can see us move and get an idea of where we're headed. I'm over here with John. Can we get onto the John cam? So John, how are we doing, buddy?
We're doing good. We're painting wires and cables in here and through the torso of this little knight.
Uh-huh.
Even though I know some of this just won't be seen, but it's there to do, so I thought I'd just throw some colour into it.
Yeah.
You can't really see it on the big knight, but you have to look pretty close.
Yeah.
But more details, the better. That's what I'm thinking.
What do you know about the background to these particular walkers?
The knights in general, or these ones?
These ones.
Nothing. So I haven't read this part in the codex yet.
Well, that was useful. If you can fill us in, stick it in the chat. Right, I'm going to mosey on up to the Lloyd. I think somebody will have to hop onto the mobile camera for me here to squeeze in. John, I'm just going to drape my wire over your back.
Yeah, do that.
There we go. Don't tug on it too hard, man.
No.
Right. Brother Lloyd,
Yo.
I am here to find out what you're working on.
I'm still working on my portal.
Yep. Number 6, Lance.
I've cut the. All right, here we
Oh,
go.
he's on-
Here he
he's on
goes. He
mobile.
made it. Okay.
Yo! I've cut the end off it. I don't
Yeah.
think it'll work. It's looking a bit. I don't know if I can get this. Can you get light onto this? Is this on automatic focus?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes. Totally.
Yeah, so it's looking a bit wibbly wobbly. I might have to have another go.
That,
at
that
this.
might be me, man. So.
And one of the things is John said if I put little slices, you're going away, and I want to show little slices.
Why are you putting little slices in
Well,
it?
John says if I heat on it, they'll retract from each other, and then I get like a stone separation marks.
No.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, you going to heat gun it now?
Yes, but I think it's a bit botchy looking. But we'll have a go at it. and
Right,
see.
can we heat gun it now with our?
Yes. But
Right. Okay, everybody, let's go. Let's
If you
get
go round
John
that
Lloyd
way.
the heat gun. We'll go this way. It's also I didn't realize we were going to get to use the big tools. So, okay. Will you heat gun here?
I was gonna. Well, hold on. I was gonna heat gun
Okay, you're going to heat gun over there.
where I have a gun.
Okay. He's heat gunning where we can't reach.
You can't reach that far.
We are beside the gin though, so
Right, hold on. Look, is he near far enough?
okay.
We got it.
Right, we're in there. So this is not a hairdryer. This is an actual paint stripper heat gun.
That kind of works.
So what kind of effect is it having, Lloyd? Is it causing the material to retract? If you bring it over to here. Oh wow! Oh wow! It really is getting a stone texture. So this is the side that's been blasted with the heat,
Yes.
and this is the side that you carved,
Yeah.
and it is getting a beautiful stone texture.
Yeah, but I'm not sure it's going to match up on either side because I wasn't that careful about it. But I'm trying to whiz through it because we've got to get it all ready for the end of the night. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave it to me.
Ah,
Leave it with me. I'm going to continue on doing that.
okay. Right.
So you hear noises.
So, Justin's on tentacles, John's on wires, Lloyd's on cracks. All that's left to do is to go back in to Sam and Roma, who are waiting in the studio. Number 5. Bye.
We're back. We're back. And so is Ben.
Hello.
Hello, Ben.
Yeah.
Hello.
We decided to bring him back. So,
I was let back out of the Phantom Zone.
He is, in fact,
Yeah.
always in your screen,
no,
watching you.
the problem is when we turn that screen off, Ben doesn't exist.
No- Ah!
Ben ceases to exist.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there is an eternal do not touch button underneath that.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Roman.
Yes.
Now is your chance to wax lyrical. Yes, I know you've been waiting for this moment.
I could do this for hours, right?
Well-
I could wax lyrical about all of these miniatures for hours. They are so good.
Well,
They
because
are
we're,
absolutely
They are
fantastic.
absolutely fantastic. All of them, really.
well, since we're running late, you've got 10 minutes.
Okay. What do you want me to talk about?
Well,
What's
are there any that really stand out to you right now? That you have any particular technique you'd like to discuss? Well, let's start.
techniques? It's going to be too short for that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Let's start with this one here, shall
Yeah, this one did stand out for me. Not. I'd like to talk a little bit about photographs because this one did not stand out in the photographs that were given up to the general public, of course, and to the judges as well. Photographing is, right or wrong, a skill that a painter, a professional painter at least, must learn so as to display his or her work properly. And that's how you get your work out there. It may not be fair, but that is also by very necessity what the judges have based their appreciation on, because most of the judges, I think, did not have the miniatures in front of them.
No, you're
So-
unfortunately, you're the only judge who's had the
Yes.
opportunity to see them in person.
So they are very different, sometimes very different in person than on the photographs. Sometimes the photographs do not do them justice, and sometimes the photographs can hide a multitude of sins, but that was not the case here. They're all quite amazing, really.
It was actually quite fascinating listening to one of the guys that we interviewed during the week, because we've done a whole bunch of Q&As with a whole bunch of the different painters and stuff like that. And one of them was saying how he loves being able to take his stuff to conventions and competitions, all those kind of things like that, so that he can actually show a lot of people exactly what all these models look like in the flesh, because he, by his own admission, was like, I can't take great pictures of a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it actually needs to be able to be seen in almost that 3D space almost.
That is
And
true,
so
that
it was
is
very
true.
nice hearing what he was talking about with that kind of thing. So, but yeah.
Now, Roman, when it came to you making
Yes.
up your mind as a judge, what things did you keep in mind? What categories, for want of a better word, did you like to think on?
Well, there is a. I mean, I can only talk about my process
Yes.
as a judge. I can't talk for everyone else, but I was looking for, of course, technical virtuosity. I think all of the candidates were pretty much there, you know, and then some went really above and beyond. Um, I. I cannot confess a bias, which would be subjective anyway, but the judging has been made very difficult by the bases and the dioramas and all the paraphernalia and the modeling around each of the miniatures.
Let's bring another one in here.
Yes.
I have to be very careful. Oh, we're going to go for that one? Okay.
Yes, why not? Sure.
I do like this one a lot. Yes.
It's technically flawless and absolutely on par with the work of the artist, which who I have followed.
That one tilted forward, and I just felt my heart stop a second there.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I've followed the artist's work for a while now, and this is absolutely amazing. Of course, it's a wonderful artistic exercise, and of course he got points for mere originality. But I think in this case the artist has deprived himself of the opportunity to offer us a 3D scene of the miniature and show the miniature in its diversity by only doing two colors.
I see. So
It could have been it could have displayed the miniature better as opposed to being an incredible art piece in and of itself. You know, it's a matter of either you serve the miniature or you serve the artist's idea. You have to find a balance there. The fact that I couldn't look at the back of the miniature was, for me, a bit frustrating. That's it.
now
But
there's
of course, it's amazing. You know.
yeah. Speaking of framing devices and everything, how important would you say a good way of framing the model is to displaying it to its best?
Well, we are looking for. I am looking for a good story. A narration is always interesting. I would bring out this model, for example.
This one?
Yes.
This one for Alexander.
careful with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Careful.
Alexandra's model, as opposed to Sergei's model. Alexandra has chosen a very simple base. She has almost done no modeling on the base, which is the base that comes with the miniature, and yet with the ball here and the laser and the action and the mere posing of the miniature, she has managed to tell a story that Sergei has told with a huge base with a lot of little spiders and action on it. Sometimes simple is just as good. It doesn't depend on the amount of work, although that certainly does count in the judges' critiques.
Yeah. Now we're going to be asking you a bit later about your scores.
Later, perhaps.
Yeah, we're not letting anything out just yet. You're not going to give us any hints, are you?
No, I'm not.
No. His lips are sealed, and he's being remarkably
being good.
restrained.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I'm being restrained because obviously I couldn't have done all that in the time that they needed, even though it's attainable if you work hard at it. It's
yeah, that is something very important that we should make note of.
yes, they all worked very quickly.
Yeah,
They did, yeah. It was a very tight time frame, and it's one of the things that's come up in a lot of the Q&As that the painters have done, is saying that it's been fascinating doing something that's a very different style of challenge to what they're normally used to, which was very interesting, because normally they're focusing towards a competition maybe a couple of months away. This was them focusing on something that was maybe, I think it was like a month in total, really, wasn't it, that they were working to this with this one.
Some
And then they had,
painters work
and
for
they were
6
sticking
months
to,
again.
they were sticking to like a whole selection of like a very limited pool, I guess you'd say, rather than just having their own choices where they went with things. So it was nice seeing what they picked out of that selection that they do from Dimension Games, and then working up from there and choosing their own ideas going forward and stuff. So
yeah. There is one last model I do want to bring special attention to while
Yes, of
I'm
course.
talking to you here, and that is this one by Ben Comets.
Yes.
Yeah, just here, Twilight. Now, you wanted to make a special note of this one, didn't you?
Yes, because of course this is one of the smallest models of all, and one of the most detailed, and the photograph did not do it justice. And I think a lot of people were quite surprised that Ben Comets did not put as many updates as all that. That's because he has actually injured his hand during the contest.
Yeah.
And he still turned out something that is really, really on par with everyone else.
Yes. It is a
if not
superb
above.
piece. It is an incredible piece.
It
I
is
love the
incredible.
tone shifting. And he did that with an injured hand. I am never touching a paintbrush again.
But then again, Ben Comets has nothing to prove. You know, he's been in the business for a while now. He's amazing. Yeah.
They're all amazing. Yes.
No, but
Okay.
he wasn't born yesterday. That's, you know.
I may be joining you in the corner in that, sad, never touching a paintbrush again feeling from all this.
Under the shower, eating cookies, and crying.
How did you know my Sunday night plans?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now, moving very swiftly on from that.
Yes, let's.
Ben, I think you've got a few more projects lined up for us, yes?
Yeah, so there's 3 more projects we're going to have a quick look at from the put forward into the community thread that we've been looking at throughout the rest of this night. The first one is actually one of the projects that's been set up, and this is by a lovely person by the name of Andrax, who is putting together a sort of Hydra-themed army that he's been going to be using in his different games and stuff like that. But of course, when you're going to put together a Hydra-style army, you're going to need something to go against it, and so he really wanted to make a Captain America shield as well, because why not? So you can see the shield shown off there, which was very, very cool indeed. But then as you filter through this as well, you'll see some of the work in progress on his army, seeing how it's all coming together. He's using reference images and stuff like that from the films and things going forward. You can see the base layers going down onto some of these models too. So it's been really nice seeing this come together as a project, and sort of hopefully you'll get a little bit more work done throughout the rest of this evening here as well with us, and you'll get some characters done potentially. That could be very cool. But yeah, it's been very fascinating seeing where he's getting all the models from and stuff like that. So yeah, a very interesting project to follow on with, and see where this one goes, I think. So yeah, very cool.
Very interested in seeing that piece.
Mm.
Yeah. Anything about that stand out to you, Emma?
Well, I mean, the shield is really, I mean, the building of the shield is
Bring it up there, bring it up there.
I mean, the first picture is actually that one.
Well,
yeah.
There we go.
Mm.
Yeah. What is he making that out of? Just a bin lid? Sort of.
I believe it is just
yeah.
a bin lid.
just a bin lid, just like the original shield in the movie.
Why not?
Why not?
Oh yeah.
So
brilliant.
that's painted like that with the stripes. I mean, why not? Sure. Okay.
I kind of like to see that. We've got a mix of
little star
costume
and
and
everything.
props
Yeah.
and the tabletop hobby. Oh, I love seeing that.
Very cool.
Okay, what else have we got, Ben?
Next up, we've got Andy, also known as Suetonius Paulinus, who says that he's going to be painting up some more United States Marine Corps figures for his bolt action force. And you can see some of the finished ones that he's got here that he's probably going to be using as a little bit of a reference to what he's doing. Although, who knows, when it comes to Andy, maybe he painted these all in like an hour and they were done, because he's just crazy fast. But as you can see, he's done them in his typical style there, where you've got the black background, he's got the really nice weathering and everything
I
to
like
them as
the
well.
weathering, yes.
Yeah. Very, very fantastic looking work here once again. And yeah, has that sort of war photography style thing going on to it, which I thought was very nice. So
That is
hopefully
cool,
we'll
yes.
be able to check back later throughout the rest of the thread and see what's going on with this, and sort of
The
see what
wood
he's
here.
painted up
It's
by the
lovely.
end of the night. So yeah.
Excellent. It's good to see we've got a lot of variety going on in the threads. And for the last one for this point, Ben, what's the last one for this bout that you've picked out for us?
Yeah, so for the last one, I wanted to pick out the work of Warhammer Grimace, and he's actually working on some stuff for Super Dungeon Explorer and Shadespire. But the thing that I really wanted to pick out in particular is the work that he's going to be doing on the stuff for Super Dungeon Explorer, because it's the kind of game that allows you to just kind of break out the comfort zone that a lot of us feel that they fit into when it comes to painting wargaming stuff. A lot of the time we're painting things that are dark and drab, and they're from the grim dark and all that kind of thing. But Super Dungeon Explorer allows you to explore, look towards those brighter colours potentially, and sort of delve into into that sort of chibi side of things. So as you can see here, he's done some really nice stuff with like that crazy blue hair for one of the characters there and stuff, which is very, very nice. And so yeah, it'd be nice to see what happens with this and where it goes forward with the project and things. So, and what kind of colours he uses. So it'd be interesting to see some like bright greens and yellows and stuff going into this as well. Very nice. And yes, you can actually end up painting eyes when it comes to this as well, because they've got the big, huge chibi eyes, so you can learn some skills there too. Very cool.
Yeah, go ahead, Bruma.
Yeah, so I'm amazed at what these guys actually are painting. This is so whimsical. I love it. Sometimes you just need to paint a chicken.
Okay. Well, with that,
Give away a voucher.
we're giving away a voucher.
Yep.
You come in. You come here.
Come in.
Come here.
Give
Tell us
away
about
the
the voucher.
Right.
Tell us-
Okay.
tell
So
us
we're
all.
gonna pick our first winner of the night.
Oh.
From the selection of the that we've just been through.
A winner.
Now
Winner. Chicken dinner that was painted earlier.
I am still jumping up and down over the Avenger shield, the Captain America
Yeah.
shield. Like, wow, that is just awesome.
Don't jump up and down
But
near these.
I'm not going to jump up and down near these, and nor am I going to pick the winner either.
Okay.
I'm going to let Rama pick
Me?
the winner of the first voucher. So
Really?
of the projects that you've just seen,
Yes.
who will we give the first Army Painter voucher to tonight?
Oh, no, the Captain America shield. I mean, that's a clear winner. Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations. Come on over to beastsofwar.com if you're not here already, and down at the bottom of the website you'll see claim a prize. If you claim, you fill in that form, and then Justin will gradually, all right, Justin, he'll gradually get round to processing the prize claims, and he will make sure and get that voucher over to you.
What was
So-
the name of that Captain America shield winner?
I can't
Andrax.
remember. Andrax. Thank
Andrax.
you.
Andrax.
Thank you, Andrax.
Congratulations.
Okay. Well, now one of our other judges has recorded a little video piece. They couldn't be with us today. So Ruben from Big Child Art, they're the official painters of the Celestial range, has given us a quick video to let us know his thoughts on how things are going.
Well, over to Ruben. Yeah, we've had a technical hitch, but I think we have it solved. Lance's magic fingers have been fiddling away. So, Ruben, let's try that again. Oh,
In a high quality resin. I think I know the figures well, and that's why I am part of the jury of the contest. Now, about the contest itself, I have to say that the level has been very similar in almost of all the contestants, so it has very difficult to make a decision about the winners. You can read a detailed explanation about my top 3, but I want you to speak in a summary form of all the other works, since as I said before, everything has very close and those who have been left out was near to this touch. It has been something similar like a penalty shot out, you know, in a football match in which anyone can win. Starting with Enrique Velasco, I think he has done the most impressive painting work due to his technical quality in the definition of the figure and in the decision to use the most saturated colors of the contest, which is something difficult to do rather than paint with grayer colors. All the grayer colors communicate with each others in a more natural and easy way. In addition, the inclusion of a background gives more depth to the scene. In short, it is a very beautiful work to see and with a high technical quality about the rest of the works presented in January. Francesco has done in his new one the most balanced piece of the contest, almost absence of failures and with a high technical level and composition. I had to highlight how he painted the face of the figure, which I find spectacular. The presentation is also very careful, so this medium-high level makes him to deserve to be amongst the best. Fabrizio Rusto, I think he has made the more refreshing and daring piece of the contest. The color scheme is very curious because he makes the scene mostly with light and desaturated colors, but then break with a very saturated colors that is what gives all the graceful to the piece. He has also played with textures like the crackle on the skin and with the materials of the base and so on. Also, the piece tells a story that is one of the things that I like to see in a piece of miniature. I have to say that if he have improved things like the base, that I think is great and is richer than that it must be. In a tone similar to the rest of the figures, I have had a more careful technical level in some parts, such as the metals. Maybe Rusto would have been higher on my podium. Now, I want to talk about other figures that have been left out but could have been winning by changing a few things only. This is the case of Diego Esteban's Sidra, which has the best base from far of the contest and a very beautiful color scheme. The problem I see is that it seems unfinished. It needs more work on defining volumes and even of differentiation of materials, since each material reflects the light in a different way, which is not represented in his painting. Also, Sergei's work seems very interesting and at a technical level among the best, but details of the treatment of the volumes of the skin of Thuron penalize him, but it's a piece that I also like a lot. Massimiliano's work on his Gorgon seems very good too. In fact, the head of Gorgon seems for me one of the best things of the whole contest. But there are other things that are not at the same level, such as the interior of the hovercraft or the rod, which look like they are painted with a wet blending on some washes, which take away a lot of detail. Also, the metals, I think, also need more work, because with the metal paint you also have to draw the reflections as if it were a non-metallic metal. In short, I think it's a good piece, but needs another focus in the painting so that everything is at the same level as the head, for example. And there are other works that, although they are good, but for a contest I believe that need an extra. like the modification of the figure or the base, for example, since I believe that we like to see new and surprising things always, or risk with effects with the paint. So the figure of Alexandra is excellent and in a pictorial way at the level of the best, being at the level of, for example, Francesco, Enrique, Sergei. It's true that she does not have an extra modifications of the others, and that's why she subtracts points. In the case of Rusto, the component of the storytelling that has in the stem is what gives the greatest punch to the miniature. From these words, it can be deduced that in a piece of art, everything counts. The history, the technique, the color, everything. Talking about other piece, in the Queen of the Boy of Antonio, that happens, but the opposite. The base is very simple, both in the painting and the composition. Even believe that this subtracts points from the figure. If the base had been at the level of the figure, that is great, it would have been a hard competitor. The rest of the figures, I think they are at a great level of painting, but from what I have said before, I find simple bets for a contest of this type. In summary, I think it will be a very contested event in which small details will deceive everything. That's why I want to wish to all the contestants very good luck. I want to thanks to Dimension Games for giving us the opportunity to participate in such a exciting project as Celestial, and I want to thanks to Sam and the people of Beast of War for the opportunity to enjoy this great contest from the inside. Thanks to all. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ruben. You, sir, are a star. Did you see the painted stuff on that man's desk? Ah! Right. Cheers. Let's see what's going on out here. Will we go and join Lloyd? Lloyd's probably not ready for this, but we'll join him anyway. So, Lloyd, how are you getting on with your hot rocks? Let's see if we can get around here. Oh, that's looking sweet. Have people seen that, yeah?
I can not yet.
Yeah, cut to John's cam there. Do we see this? Okay. That is looking spectacular, Lloyd.
It does look pretty good, actually. I didn't think it would look as good as that, but it's turned out well. I'm thinking maybe the next time I do it, I might make a double layer so that I can put a portal, because me and you were having a little chit-chat. Me and you were having a little chit-chat about portals and stuff.
Yeah.
And
do you want to show them the idea that we're thinking of for the portal?
Parents were having a chat about using, basically, it's like
plastic.
It's plastic. It's clear plastic. It's clear plastic. I'm basically doing this and putting like a Mr. Whippy sort of shape.
Yeah.
Ice cream shape on it.
Do it again there. The people didn't get enough for that. Yeah.
A Mr. Whippy.
That's it. That's the angle.
Ice
What?
cream shape. Sort of like hot glue gun, right? Like that.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Oh, are you gonna actually make it 3D then? You're gonna have it come up like a shit emoji.
I thought of like a portal emoji. Yes.
Yeah.
Because while you were away, I found this line around the office. And I went, that's pretty much what I'm trying to make.
Do you feel shit now?
A big version of this.
I think yours will be awesome.
Mine's bigger.
What are you going to put it on?
What am I going to put it on? Oh,
because it looks a bit floppy.
Yeah, so it's a bit flipsy at the moment. So I'm trying to make a base for it. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to bring that in? So I did do an experiment that didn't go very well. I carved it out, and I thought when it retracted and all, but it ended up just looking flat, as you can see, and I wasn't very careful with my lines.
Yeah.
But it did an interesting effect. So now I have a new piece.
Yeah.
And I'm using this tool, which I think, John...
Look at the hook on the end of that.
Is maybe now bent the wrong way.
Yep.
Oh, was it supposed... It didn't come out looking like that, no?
I don't think so. I think it's because I've been jabbing this, trying to get some texture onto this, because I'm hoping once I hit this with the heat gun, that'll sort of give it an uneven surface and look more like rock.
Why don't you get a big bag of stones and just beat the crap out of it?
Because I don't have a big bag of stones.
Oh, well, your big brother
Message
does.
from Chris.
Right.
Message from Chris.
Yes.
Jabbar Cree.
The what?
Jafar Cree. Message from Chris for Lloyd.
Jafar Cree. I've no idea what that means.
Dude, Stargate.
It's a
Oh, is that
Stargate
Stargate?
thing.
Okay, right. So I think we're about ready to join Sam, who has Chris in the studio from Darker Days Radio as one of our judges. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Warren. Yes, we are here with Chris Hanley from Darker Days Radio, because when you're dealing with a range with this much horror
Darkness,
elements,
yes.
yeah, you need Chris Hanley. Some of you may know Chris from our Kingdom Death Let's Plays. Chris, how you doing, mate?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's very warm here in Sheffield. So yes, I'm calling from Sheffield. There's certainly going to be a dub point somewhere. I think somewhere. Is that how we've done the points breakdown? I don't know.
Yeah, that we've got the points all set up. I will quickly say this: this internet connection for this Skype with Chris has been working fine all day, barring 5 minutes before this call started. So,
This is the influence of Beelzebub, no doubt.
indeed,
Indeed.
yeah. So if quality drops a bit, we're really sorry. So, Chris, how have you been finding the contest?
That's yeah. I'm in the same position as Roman. Like it's an honor to be a judge on this competition, but obviously, I'm no expert, and I've been learning as I go. And obviously, getting back into the hobby in the last few years, my painting has improved, but this stuff is another level.
I disagree. I think it is attainable, but not in 3 weeks.
No. There's still I've learned a lot looking at things, and seeing the whole process is reassuring that with a few more steps I could achieve something similar, or I can be braver with the options I make in my painting.
So, Chris, as you've been watching these and looking at the miniatures, have there been any particular techniques that you've seen and go, oh, I need to try that?
I think the Queen of the Void. I'm sorry, I can't remember the names off by heart. Let me just look at the show notes.
Yeah,
We've
go
got
ahead.
Here.
Go
so,
ahead.
Enrique's Queen of the Void, the one that's in red. I believe.
Yes. We were looking at that one earlier.
So the things there, why that's
No,
a
the
really
Queen of the Void.
interesting model to me
yes.
is we've got multiple materials there. So we've obviously got cloth, which has been rendered quite well with the idea of texture. We've got obviously non-metallic metals with how that's painted, and we've seen a lot of work with that. And then I don't know, Ramon, with the red.
Yes.
It seems to me a bit more than just being metallic. I always said when looking at it, it reminds me more of a very deep red crystal, because you kind of get a sense of like light passing through it a little. So it feels
much how it
has a
it's
glow.
Very shiny. It has a glow. It's almost alive, and that's I think what the painter was going for, something that is both mineral and alive. I really quite love it.
It's a superb model, that one. And also, I think what I quite like about it is that while the plinth, the background, it works for it. It doesn't overshadow the model. It doesn't do any weird tricks of the eye at any angle with the contrast between the model and the background.
Yes, obviously the model is the star, and a simple base is sometimes the way to go.
Yes. And obviously, the other example of the Queen of the Void in both cases are great, like because there's either like patinas on the metal or it's the cracked skin in the case of the kind of ceramic feel.
Yes. The water effects and all of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's very warm here. I need to have a slurp or something. And then the other model, which I think I really like about Ben's model, is that because we don't have so much of a plinth or anything, we really get to focus on the model itself and the different hues in the skin to make it seem quite alive, quite vibrant, like the rosiness of the cheeks. So there's a lot of interesting things going on there. Like also the eyeballs, they look so glistening.
Yes, all those nuances on such a small miniature, and it does tell a story, even though the base is quite simple. It's just that girl is just dancing with a little bell,
I was going to say exactly that. It looks like she's stood in a very opulent hall,
Yes.
dancing, and you get that sense, that idea, just because of the pattern on the base, and nothing more. That's it.
No need for a frame. No need for a huge column. No need for anything.
No, yeah. And then I'm trying to think of the other models. Which one stands out a little? I guess the large one, there was the Zydral. Is that right? Zydra.
Yes, Diego's one with the Japanese gate above it.
Yes, I think there's some interesting parts on the actual base and the scene itself with the kind of frosty look, and I think I kind of wanted to get more of a sense of that frosty feeling, that feeling of cold on the actual metal parts, the metallic parts of the model itself.
Yes.
This all could come down to a matter of time and having to deliver a finished product for this competition. But then that's why this competition is maybe slightly different to things like Golden Demon and other painting competitions where you have a lot longer to play with.
Yeah, this is very much a test of speed as well as skill in some ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris, while
yes.
you were judging, what things did you keep in mind? What were your criteria?
Obviously, as Romanus points out, obviously technical skill, and obviously there's lashings of technical skill here on display. I think also kind of originality with how to paint certain textures or the flesh to make it seem rather alive, rather than just going through the motions and going, well, that's a metal, that's a skin, that's a whatever material. It's really trying to bring the sensation of all of those things out of the model, so that cohesively it feels like the model itself is telling a story before you get to any of the other things that you do around it with the base. So, and then with everything else, it's just does it tell a story overall? I mean, you look at the other Queen of the Void with that whole the bubbles and the color behind it. Is that Fabrizio's model with the? I'm just checking my show notes again.
Fabrizio.
Yeah. Again, that extra splash of color helps just set the model off and give a sense of the story going on with it. So it's hard. It is hard, but I think I knew what I was looking for was ultimately a good story told with the model and the technical ability to get that story across.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming on board and telling us everything there, Chris.
That's okay. That's been great.
Yeah. Thank you for being a judge as well.
Thank you. And I'll mostly post up some pictures when I've painted some more night haunts late night. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Okay. Thanks very much, Chris. Back over to you guys in the hobby hall.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Chris, for joining us. You will probably know Chris from the epic journeys that we've been having through the world of Kingdom Death. If you haven't, come on over to beastofwar.com, check out Kingdom Death in the games section of the site, and there's some fantastic playthroughs. I've been having an absolute blast. Lonor came up with a very interesting question, one that I thought I might take a couple of minutes just to have a discussion with you guys about. He said, do you think it's really fair to have a painting competition where all the painters paint different models? Now that's an interesting one, and I suppose the answer is yes, provided all of the painters or the people that are competing in something understand the terms of what they're doing. Then yes, it is fair. So I think fairness aside, we'll take fairness out of the equation, because I think provided everybody knows what they're doing, it is fair. But I think the underlying tone of what the question that he's putting across is, do we think that we get the best, I don't know.
I have a good argument for this.
Well, let me finish first. Do we get the best idea of the technique and the talent when all of the models are so different? What do you think?
Well, my argument is we have car races all the time, and every car is different.
Jesus. Okay, that's gonna.
I mean,
yeah, even the clipboard of doom's not getting that one in, man.
There's a competition. Every car is different.
Yeah.
So is it fair?
To erase
Well,
all those cars?
I was going to say that being a painter is so much more than just the application of paint to a model. These guys are all artists, probably 10 of the finest artists in our industry. And whenever you're an artist, it's not just about the technique of applying paint to a particular aspect of a model. It's about vision. It's about the vision of a model, the framing of a model, the entire narrative and story that you make that model tell. So I think in that instance, allowing what are effectively artists, not effectively, these people are artists, allowing artists the freedom to be able to tell the story that they want to tell on the canvas of their choice. Yeah, I think it's entirely fair. I think it's entirely fair, and I think it's a great way for us to not only see who's the best painter, but also to be inspired by just what is possible with practice. Because none of these people were born with a paintbrush in their hand. It was practice that got them there. Learning, tutorials, and all sorts of things like that. Right. Let's get back to hobby. Lloydie, are you ready to show us a little bit more, or will I go and pester Justin for a second first?
I'll pester Justin for a little bit.
Okay, Justin is actually doing really well here. Justin, your tentacles are flipping magnificent.
The main chassis is built. I'm starting to add some armor panels on the top, and now it's having me add more in beneath with some spikes. So I'm really enjoying the kit. It's coming off the sprue really well. One thing I do notice with some laser cutting companies is they're a little bit slap happy with the join points to the frame.
Yeah.
This one is really, really good. Everything's coming off really quick. I'm having to do very little cleanup after I've got it off the sprue, and the components are going together flawlessly.
Yeah.
So I am really happy with this.
Yeah.
If you want to actually have a look at it, here's how far I am along with it. So all the tentacles have went on flawlessly, and I can't actually wait to get a primer down on this to actually get a look at how it looks whenever it's all a single unified color.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm totally distracted by Lloyd having no sex with the microphone over there. The entire chat room has erupted with the ASMR of Lloyd snorting heavily. I grew up with this young fella. This is him. He is a heavy nose breather, that man. He's we'll see if we get him some sort of breathing apparatus.
I'll just switch to the mouth.
Okay, let's go around and see how Lance is getting on. Lance, this is it, man. You've been dreaming about this moment for many minutes.
Yeah, you caught me off guard with that one. Yes. Here we go. You can have a look there. I've been slowly but surely making progress.
Yeah.
I've never built anything that has a hinge on it before, so that was very, very difficult. I was terrified.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, trying to hold it all together while keeping this actually being able to move was very difficult.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm kind of enjoying it.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a lot more interesting than building models like single men armies.
Yeah.
Whereas this building quite a big contraption is quite enjoyable.
Okay. I'm going to give Lance the 3-part hobbyist challenge, okay? Because Lance has been drooling over this model now for a year, so we'd fully expect Lance to know quite a bit about it, okay? So Lance, what is the name of this model?
The Grundstock gun hauler.
Oh, you got it! How far can this model move on the gaming table?
6 inches.
That's not true, man. You know it's more than that.
It's 6 inches if I make it 6 inches.
What does its weapon profile look like?
What?
That's okay, lads. We'll let you off with that one. Okay, guys. Lloydie, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, where are we going? Are we going over to your
I'll
heat?
come round to you.
Yeah, we'll meet you up at your heat gun part, okay? Right, come on, guys, follow me. We'll just go amble up the hobby hall. Justin or John, spread them legs to get across that wire. There we go. Okay. Right.
Can we reach to about here, can we?
Close. Yes.
Maybe there?
Yes, there's good.
I don't want anything with the heat gun.
No.
Right, so that was the previous attempt. Okay. okay. So I scored out all the lines and then he gunned it and wasn't happy with it. Obviously, I didn't spend enough time scoring the lines for a start.
Yeah.
But there is no texture to it, essentially.
Yes.
So I've been sitting working out how to make texture. So now I have this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if I can catch the light, there you go. You can see the sort of texture.
Yeah.
And
I
I
can
have
also
a
see lines scored into that.
and I have a different pattern on it.
Yeah.
So while the guys have been in there, I've been destroying John's tool. And that's one of yours, John.
I'm almost certain I was going to come out destroying John's dong.
Look at it. It used to be straight. Look how bent that is. Look,
Yes.
just completely over.
Yeah. Okay.
But it did a good job, right? So I
Yes.
did that a lot. Right. Now, it's time to get the heat going.
Come on, Ice Wolf is going mad in the comments. He needs more flipping hobby right now, man. Too much talk, not enough hobby.
Okay. You're done. Right, you ready? Not too close.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Lloyd. Oh, no, it needs more heat, man.
No, it won't, because you'll lose the texture.
All right.
It'll kill off any texture that's on it, but that looks better than before.
Yeah. I'd go at it with more heat.
No, the texture will vanish.
Have we got a textured rolling pin?
No, I don't have one.
We should make one.
Well,
we need to make a
Well, I
textured
can do-
rolling
I can
pin.
I can just add in some more of this.
If
again.
you heat that and then slap it with your thing.
No, it doesn't work. It's better to slap it with my thing and then heat it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You can't heat it up and then just slap it with your thing.
No, because I've tried that.
Right.
If this-
We're going to try. This is what Hobby Lab's all
We're
about.
going to try on. No, we're not going to try on that bit. We're going to try on this bit.
Right, okay. No, wait, stop. Do it there.
Right, is it ready?
Well, wait till it spreads apart a little bit more.
Or goes on fire?
It's not going to go on fire.
It's definitely spreading now.
Yes, it's spreading. Okay, go. Get stuck in there, yeah.
But it can't touch. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
It's all melted.
Yes, give it a good go. Good go.
I can't touch it though. It'll
That's good.
stick to me.
Now go back at it with the heat gun. Go back out with the heat gun now, right? Let's go back in there. There.
I think it pretty much flattened out again.
Yeah.
I think you don't need to do that.
It was an utter failure. Okay, right. Well, you win some, you lose some, hobbyists. You win some, you lose some. We'll keep experimenting with that. Now we have a very, very special guest. This is a good friend of Beasts of War, good friend of mine, and a most superb painter in his own right. And not only a superb painter, but one of the few people in the industry who can teach to paint. I am, of course, talking about the legendary Tommy Soul. So, if you guys are ready, I'm going to pass back over to Sam and Ramah as they introduce Tommy Soul.
I look at myself as the guy who's...
Hello, we're back with Tommy Soul.
Sorry. I was halfway through chatting then.
No worries.
No worries, it's fine.
Yeah, we're here with Tommy Soul from Golem Painting, another of the great judging panel.
He's amazing.
You just spotted yourself on the stream, have you?
I have, yeah. There's a bit of lag from what I can see on the screen there.
Yeah, there is a bit. So wait, now we're watching Tommy, who's watching himself, watching us, watching him, My brain's melting.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Tommy, how have you been finding the competition, mate?
I found it incredibly interesting. I've also, as I was just saying to you guys before the live feed came on, I was just saying how nerve-wracking, personally, I found it being a judge, and not because of the, not necessarily because of the money that was at stake, but just because of how honoured I feel, because I was just saying about, I kind of don't see myself as that prestigious or that important or anything like that, and that always shows through.
Tommy, you really are.
Yeah, it's been great having you on board for this.
And none of the judges would admit their competence in this competition. That's very odd. But I guess it goes with the expertise.
Yeah. So sorry, Tommy. Speaking of the expertise, have there been any particular moments in this competition that have stood out to you? Any techniques or ideas that you've seen on display that really reached out to you?
Yeah, well, I've got to say before I go into this that as a judge, whether it be as a judge for Salute or as a judge for my students' work or when I'm just looking online at whatever thing, I've learned that I need to look at painting in a couple of different ways. So one is a personal way, where I just think if it was just me, can I just take one thing home and I just like. And regardless of technical skill or the story or painting, there might be something that just excites me personally. So I'll latch on to something like that. But then I disassociate myself. And then I try and look technically at everything. And then I'll try and look at the story, and then I'll ask questions, or the piece will guide me to ask questions. There's kind of two types of all that happening. But I'll explain as we go along. Now, on a personal note, the one that jumped out to me that I want to take home would be Enrique's.
Enrique's? Yes, I
yeah,
believe
Mr. Blasco, yeah, absolutely.
that would be
This
this one.
I really
the
enjoyed
Red
that.
Queen of the Void, I believe.
Yes.
I'll just quickly...
Yeah, absolutely, Red Queen.
I'm going to quickly check one of the images behind us. Yes!
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, back to Tommy.
Yeah, that's the one. Now, the reason I had to make that distinction about the three different ways of looking at things, because even though that's the top of my personal list, it actually didn't make the final cut because there was other things in the other categories that for me would have needed more. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that I completely understand what you mean. As I've been asking all the other judges, what were your criteria for each model in particular?
So, as I've just said, we've got these three things. I want to be just excited in me gut. As a child, I don't, a child doesn't have to look at a model, for example, to think, oh, it needs a story, or this blending was slightly off, or the focus. A child doesn't think like that. So I let my child mind guide me. I just go, what excites me, you know. So, and Enrique's painting, even on Facebook, when I see him do all these individual space marines, for example, every time he knocks me flat. Like when I saw his art battle wagon, just every time it knocks me flat. I absolutely love his work, and at some point I will do my own little personal study in his style sat at home, because that's what I do. I like to try and copy people's styles, assimilate it, so I can then repeat it, regurgitate it, and just learn from it and teach it to other people if they want to do such things.
Yeah, that's really cool. One thing you did note in particular was the narrative, and I've picked out two of the models here, which I think have a very interesting narrative to their designs.
But not necessarily accessible,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So these were, I think this is Gagong by Massimiliano and Nua by, I think this was Sergio
Calvo, yes.
Sergio Calvo.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
They're very interesting models. You can see...
Better in person than in photographs, actually.
Yeah, I would agree. I would I think all of them are better in person. Yes, Tommy?
That makes me very jealous. Because but also one of the things that made me very nervous about the competition is I don't get my hands on these. It's not like at Salute where I can pick these things up and really get down to the nitty gritty of what makes it work. I had to try and reverse engineer by eye through photograph what it was going on. Now, I may or may not have been right, and that's nerve-wracking for somebody like me when judging people as prestigious as these guys, and it's scary, so I had to interpret to the best of my abilities, man.
No, I will tell you both what is scary. Having models like these in a Warren-rich environment.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, that is scary.
That was terrible.
Is he wild of hand?
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, so am I. I keep my hands in my pockets every time I go into the locked room where we keep these. Okay. Well, Tommy, thank you very much for coming on board for this, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure having you among the judges.
It's been a pleasure for me, and I could sit here and do this all night. So I'm going to sit and watch you guys, and if you want to carry on and get me on in a little bit again, I'll carry on waffling at you.
Oh,
I love it. Absolutely love it. So
it's great having you on board, and your comments are fantastic as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. I wish I could have got more in the writing stages as well. So apologies for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did it. As we've noted before, this competition did have a very short time frame.
Very short time frame.
Which is one of the most impressive things about the painters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I tell you what, if something again like this happens, then with more preparation, I'll make sure that I'll work with you guys closer, and I'll make sure if we can, even if I can help you guys in more in-depth way, then we'll try and make that happen.
Oh, Tommy, that would be fantastic. That would be
nice,
great to
Yeah,
have you
I'm
on board.
game for it. I'm absolutely game for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, if you want to hop into the chat at the moment, I'm sure lots of the people who are currently painting will have lots of questions for you and for all the other judges.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Excellent.
I
Okay.
can plug my channel and all, because I share
Do
all
it.
these brain
Golan
things on
painting.
it.
Golan painting. Okay.
Oh,
thanks.
thank you.
Thanks very much, Tommy.
Just click on my name.
There you go.
Or whatever it is.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Now
Thank
we are
you.
going to head on over
yeah.
to the hobby hall.
Yes? Yeah.
Success! We have had some success! Lloydie, are you ready to show it off?
Yeah, I'm just about to glue it together, but
Yeah. Let's go meet Lloydie further up the hobby hall here. Let me grab my gin. Okay. Right. So, when you last were with us, we were having... Would it classify as an epic fail? Maybe. It wasn't particularly successful. However, we have found a method.
Yeah, so check this out. That's not looking too bad. Ignore the...
What's all that slimy stuff?
That's contact cement, basically, isn't it? What sort of cement is this?
Contact cement.
Contact adhesive, then I'm going to stick the two bits together, but I have to wait 5 minutes for it to sort of half cure, and then you stick the two bits together.
Right, let's talk quickly about contact adhesive. Jono, can you come up here?
Yep.
John has experience with contact adhesive because he built a massive dildo armor suit for Fallout 4.
Yep, that's right. So what we're doing at the minute is using this contact adhesive, which is really stupidly strong stuff. It's better than super glue. Easily better than super glue. But how it works is you have to apply it to both surfaces really thinly, and then you have to let it sit for 5 minutes until when you poke it, it's basically just tacky.
Yeah.
Then you press the two pieces together, and within a couple of minutes of doing that, this stuff's tougher than the material you bonded it to.
Nice. What materials will it work on?
No,
we use it especially for this foam.
Yeah.
Do you want to go and grab me your helmet?
I don't have it here.
Have you got Justin? Let's
Just-
grab.
we have a
Justin
bit-
never made a helmet. Grab his cod piece. Just grab his cod piece there. Right. So here we have Justin's cod piece. Okay. So this is all basic. Well, there's two types of glue on this.
Yeah, there's some hot glue to give some of the bonds a bit strong.
So it's safe to touch this white slimy stuff here.
Yeah, that's safe.
Oh, that's okay. That's just hot glue.
That's fine.
That's okay,
that's just
yeah.
hot glue. But everything else is done the same way that Lloyd's been doing with his terrain piece.
Yes.
It's been heated with a heat gun to form it.
Yeah.
It's then been contact cemented into the shape.
Yeah.
And the contact cement is tough enough that it's holding that shape, so everything in that piece is under tension.
Yes. It's awesome. Can I put it on, Justin?
No.
Please?
No.
Please? I'm going to do it, Justin. I'm going to do
Never
it.
going to be able to wear this again.
You ready? You ready? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah! Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, right. So, is it ready to go? No. Right, well, while we're waiting for that to go, why don't you show us the technique that you got to make it work? He picked up a stone.
No, someone put in the comments about rolling tinfoil up in a roller and heating it up and rolling it over.
That's a good idea.
And I thought, I don't have tinfoil. And I was looking around. And what did I find? I found a resin rock.
Right. Okay.
So we've gone back to the whole heating method and and slapping it with a rock.
Okay, well, let's see how that works.
Heating.
Is it not enough to roll the rock over it? And then you'd have rock and roll.
It doesn't. It doesn't want to rock and roll now.
Oh, that is working. Holy smokes.
The thing is, though,
You need plenty of heat in
No,
it.
but the thing is, you undo it as you heat it, so you need to do a little bit,
And then add more subtle layers.
and then really quickly get on with the rock.
Uh-huh.
Can you smell it?
It does smell, Lloyd. Yeah. Look at the head going. Look at the head going. That's how you hobby, man.
And then you do the other half,
Yep.
because you'll smooth out what you've already smashed in there. And that's essentially, do that for a while, and you'll get that sort of texture.
I think we should have like a
Fantastic, fantastic. Right, so surely the contacta, John, how do we know? How do we know when we're sticky enough to put it together?
When it's dry to the touch.
Should it stick to my finger?
No.
Oh, okay.
Really? You wait for it to dry?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're going to head back over. So,
Watching glue dry.
yes. So, you come on to something like Hobby Night Live, where we have 10 of the finest painters in the world, and the star of the show ends up being a terrain chicken guy who stomps his rock all over the top of something. Right. I think it's time for me to pick up my clipboard of doom. Where is my clipboard of doom? Oh, it's over here. Sorry about this, guys. 1 second. Right, so clipboard of doom says we are going to talk about your projects now. So that means that Ben is on the telly. Over to you, Ben and Sam and Rama.
Sorry, it's not Ben.
Oh,
sorry.
No, we've got Thomas Menez.
Yep.
Which is equally as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are running a bit late with things at the moment, so we've had to skip ahead a quick moment to Thomas, one of our other judges.
Hi.
How are you doing, Thomas?
I am surprisingly sober for the night I've just had.
Yeah, I will say, we didn't know whether Thomas would be with us tonight, and this is another reason why I've rushed him ahead in the running order, because Belgium were playing Brazil tonight. I don't know if you know that a thing called the
World something.
Yeah, the World Mug. The World Mug is playing right now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, who won?
Belgium won!
Way!
No way!
Good.
And we'll be squishing France next week, Tuesday, I think.
There, Roman. There. Yeah, so Thomas was out watching that match, so we wanted to get him in quickly so he could go return to the festivities.
Yeah.
You're enjoying your evening then?
I am. I'm back home now painting miniatures, which is also fun. I'm painting Guild Ball miniatures, so yeah, it's a bit of the same, right?
Yeah.
If you can't go and watch people play, well, after watching people playing football, you paint miniatures so you can play your own football with them.
Yeah. Excellent. Makes sense to me.
Mm.
Okay. How have you been finding the painting contest?
Great, brilliant. Let me echo the words of all the other judges in here. It's a bit strange to judge people, to judge entries in a contest that you know you will never be able to equal what they are doing at the time that they are doing it, and then I have to come in and say like, well, yeah, that's not perfect and that's not perfect. It's really strange to do that. So you have to look at it like the art that it is and be an art criticist.
Critique.
Whatever.
I don't know.
So it's a bit strange to do, but the work was so brilliant and so lovely and so great in such a short amount of time. I was really baffled by that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm just looking at one of the miniatures here, another one of the Queen of the Void, and it is amazing all of the different styles you see coming into play.
On that all of the different painters have done on a single miniature.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, which ones have really stood out to you? As you saw the miniatures coming together, when have you thought, oh, this is going to be something special?
Mm.
There are two that really stood out for me. Well, three that really stood out for me. I'm going to see if I can come up with the names quickly. Hold a second, I'm going to cheat here.
Go ahead, go ahead.
The first one that really stood out for me was Alexandra Svetanovsky's Zurong. I really loved what she did with it. It's a simple miniature. She didn't do too much to the base. But the first thing I always look at anything like a miniature is, does it tell a story? I think the story is the most important thing of all. And Alexandra's, the story was, well, with the little that she had, with the little ball in its hand, and with the ball being reflected on the floor, I think it was brilliant. It put so much style and direction into that one miniature. Just by painting it that way. I really love that one. The second one that I really loved was Massimiliano's Gugong.
Oh, yes.
I really liked it. I did get the feeling that he had to rush everything in the end, which is a pity. And there were more entries that I felt really suffered from the time constraints.
Yes.
That would have been even better if they had had more time. You could see that these people are well used to having more time to paint miniature and getting it exactly the way they want to get it. So that was a pity. And the last one that really flabbergasted me was Fabrizio's Queen of the Voids, the one with the bubbles in the end, in the back. I really love that miniature.
Yes, once again, I think the back of the base especially suffered from lack of time, but the miniature is stellar.
Yeah, well, the miniature is stunning. It tells a brilliant story. And one of the things that I really liked about it, that nobody talks about, is that I think Fabrizio is the one who worked this competition the best. What I mean with that is that there were people like Alexandra who started with a miniature, and from the first picture she showed you, you knew what you were going to get. You know, this is how it will be looking. There were no surprises there. Fabrizio started with painting the porcelain skin, and then the next week he did an update with the base, with a part of the base, and the week after that he did an update with the base with the bubbles on it, and he went from strength to strength to strength, and what he did was really play the competition. So every time you went to the Facebook page and you saw a new entry, it was something new, it was something surprising, and I really loved that. Some of the other entries, you knew what you were going to get beforehand, and it was 4 weeks waiting for it to come together. And Fabrizio's entry really went from strength to strength and from surprise to surprise, and I think the end result was quite stunning.
Fabrizio really did play the game of that was imposed upon all the contestants of showing your progress.
Yes.
Which was one of the requirements of the contest.
It was, yes.
And of course, the talent of knowing what to do with your camera and how to take pictures is taken into account.
Yeah, it is a beautiful model. Now, of course, Thomas, you do regular backstage videos, Mena's Minis Mashup. Yeah, if you haven't seen those, join backstage, check them out. They're very useful. You'll also see Roman's videos. And a big part of that is, of course, you get to play around with the miniatures a bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you see anything like that going on here that you think, oh, maybe I could bring that into a video in the future? Or I've called him on the spot.
C'est difficile,
hein? I got a lot of ideas from this, and that's what I really like about a competition like this, and especially if you're the one judging it. Well, if you have the honor of being selected as a judge for something like this, you get ideas, and you get brilliant new ideas. I thought the idea of I don't know his name anymore, but the model in the frame, like the little frame with the model in it. I think the idea is brilliant. It's really...
Yeah, Francesco Farabi.
Yes, I think the idea was really brilliant. Like you have a little painting that you can hang on the wall, and when you walk past it, it's moving, like some kind of a bas-relief. I really like that. I liked some of the others ideas, like the little small one in the wave, enclosed in the wave.
Yes, Nua. Yes.
Yeah, I really like that one as well, which was really simple, really beautiful, really small entry. It didn't stood up to all the avalanche of different colors that some of the others had, and the avalanche of techniques. But I really like that idea, like keeping it small and stuff like that. So. Yeah, and there's a lot of ideas I got from this, and that I will probably be stealing later on in other projects.
It's not stealing, it's
not
learning.
stealing,
It's learning.
inspiration.
Inspiration, there we go.
You know,
which
and
is the proper word for stealing.
Yeah, it's been heartbreaking because, of course, we love those entries. It's been absolutely heartbreaking to judge them. The least imperfections or artistic choice had to be brutally scrutinized. And, of course, we love them all.
Yeah. Rather you two than me. That's all I can say. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming on board for this, Thomas.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, we are going to head back to the hobby hall in a second. Then, well, we're almost approaching the point where we can reveal the judges' marks.
Almost.
But before that, we will stop by with Ben to see one more round of community projects.
Yes.
In the meantime, back to you guys in the hobby hall.
Thank you for that, Sam. Right, it's Mr. Whippy time.
It's not Mr. Whippy time.
It's not Mr. Whippy time?
I'm waiting on this thing to heat up.
Right, let's go over and see what's going on. So Lloyd is now... Oh, sorry there, Justin. So Lloyd is going to use the hot glue gun. For anybody that's wondering why the gin is changing colour, it's because we've moved on to this one, which is called Laurenus Sharish, which is rather tasty, actually. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so you've got it put together.
Yeah, it's a bit wonky looking. You know, if you're going to do this with more time, you might try and put a structure in it, like, I don't know, a couple of sticks or something.
Wire.
Or wire, just to give it some... wire is a good idea, because you could just pose it then.
You can start to pose it, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
You know what? You could probably retrofit some wire in.
You might end up plugging it outside.
No, I mean just run around there and glue it to it, because if we're going to do this portal thing, probably not have really bodgy looking corner or edge anyway, so I was thinking of just covering it with moss, like moss had been growing up on the sides to try and cover up.
So all the mistakes you're going to cover up with
Moss.
moss, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then you probably want a wooden base, so this doesn't ride up, but you know, it actually sitting pretty flat.
Do you know what? Here's the thing. You're going to scream here, but John says that this contact stuff is stronger than the actual material itself, so it could potentially just sit flat packed. No, maybe not.
No, it's not, because you would spend like your first half hour playing your game, fiddling with it.
Okay. Okay. Right. What is going on with this?
Are we dripping?
You'll want the fresh stick very thin.
We're not dripping very much. You may want to talk to some other people. I'm going to put a brand new stick in this.
Well, show us how it's done. So this is your hot glue gun. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
Oh, we've got some dripping action, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a go at trying to make a whippy pattern.
Okay.
Justin was maybe right. Oh no! The problem with this is you can't get an. Oh no. It's just turned into a big.
I have
blob.
an idea. I have an idea. Squirt out as much of it as you can into a big. Yeah, just go give it hard. Yes,
But
that's
it's
it.
gonna-
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't you panic.
That is it. That is it.
Is that all you've got? You need more rod in there.
Need
Hang
more
on.
rod.
Where is it?
Here, hold on. Right.
Right. Well, yeah. So squirt it around. Keep going. Keep going. That's it.
You know, that might work if I
That
had.
might work if you can
Keep going as it cools.
Yeah.
Keep going inside, outside.
Yeah. Go from the inside out. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, why don't you smear it all over it?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So give
Let's
it a good
try that.
smearing first. Yeah. That's it.
Hold on.
That's it. Oh yes.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah,
It is hot.
Be damn careful because I've had it drop on my hand.
Yeah, that is hot.
So hot. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Just watch. Don't burn yourself. No, health and safety. Health and
It's gonna be dry long before I get the chance to do anything with this.
Yep. It looks
Right. Okay.
like swirl.
Calm
Swirl
down.
like your
lads.
life depends on it,
Calm
boys.
down. No, this is just.
Failure!
Second fail of the night, man.
This is little balls.
Well, hang on.
The concept's there.
The concept's there, actually. Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know if that was? That's actually not as bad as you might think. Can you stick it in and we'll have a wee look at it in situ?
No, because it might get stuck.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Oh, this is not bad there.
Yeah, stick it in there. Do we see?
No, I don't want it to get stuck yet.
Yeah, but right. So would you have it that way, or
Well,
turn
I'm
it?
gonna do it on both sides, you see.
We'll spin it around. You see what it looks like from the other side.
Yeah, but then you have one side that's like that.
Yeah.
I thought I would just do it on both sides.
Right. Well, do you want to get a fresh rod and stick it in there? And in the meantime, we've shown you our crap. Now we're going to see your successes. Right.
Without obviously turn into just cast it in resin.
Yes, we're not going to just cast it in resin. We're going to find hobby ways of doing it, aren't we, Lloyd?
Yes. That's what we're going to do. We're going to find a bodgy way of doing it.
Yes. We need more tin foil. Okay, right, Lancey, get ready to switch because it's time to find out how all you guys are doing at home. Ben, Sam, Rama, over to you.
Yeah. So long story short, the judge was very... Never mind.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, we're back. How are you guys doing? Ben is back.
Yes,
I
he
am
is.
back. I am back. I'm not as handsome as all of our wonderful judges, but I am still here. So yeah.
Oh,
No, you're the sexy furious Ben.
Oh, stop.
Dwarves are
Make me
sexy.
blush. Oh.
Well,
Dad bod forever. Anyway.
Before we get started talking about the judges' scores,
About dad bods.
about dad bods,
Yes.
about dad bods, we I didn't know it was that kind of competition.
Oh, you young innocent Sam. Anyway.
Yeah, right. We have just a bit of time to go over a few more community projects.
Yes, we do.
Ben, I was about to use the line, what have you pulled out for us? But given that conversation, Ben, what have you got for us?
So the first one is a little bit of work by David, who was actually putting together. Well, he said he was having a nice, relaxing night. He was going to have pizza, chilled Italian lemonade. Oh, sounds amazing! And also, he was putting together something a little bit different as well. He's putting together a Gumpler kit, which I thought was very interesting. And I didn't really know what that was until I looked at the front of the box art there, which is crazy. So it's some kind of awesome-looking kind of mech thing, which is very cool. It's got a Japanese flair to it. Very nice indeed. So I'm sure this is going to be quite a lengthy project that's going to take him quite a long time as well. Unfortunately, some of the images are a little bit broken there, but it was nice to see someone working on something a little bit different for that one. So that was a very cool thing to look at.
Sorry,
maybe John will be able to give him some pointers as to that one as well.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Sorry, I've just got to have a Japan nostalgia moment here because in Japan, gunpla is the big hobby. Gundam plastic kits. And I was dying for some hobby, so I just went into a store, bought a couple of gunpla kits, and I actually wrote an article on it for the site. So I'm kind of happy to see that.
They are very good kids. Very good kids too. Yes.
Yeah, look up Tabletop Otaku Gundam. That was the article. Okay, sorry about that. Had to get that out of my system.
That's right.
Go ahead, Ben.
And so the next one, I couldn't leave an entire evening without talking about it. So we're looking at Tony Sylvie, who painted up the amazing Shrewzerker. And this was all done in the last couple of hours as well for Bros and Badgers, which is an absolutely fantastic looking model. I love that little guy with his axe held above his head, his crazy pants, and his wild stare as well. Absolutely fantastic
the
work.
untamable shrew.
The untamable shrew.
That is
Very
brilliant.
Thank you.
But yes, an absolutely fantastic looking model there. It's been really nicely put together. I believe he was actually saying that he's going to be changing things around with this model, and he's taken it off the sort of metal tab that it comes with normally, and he's going to be mounting it on a rock. I know we get a lot of thing about like foot on rock thing, but I think this shrew maybe deserves a mount of his own. I think that's very cool. But yes, an absolutely fantastic looking project there going on there from Tony Sylvie.
Yeah. Always happy to see more Burrows and Badgers. Yeah, definitely. I can see why that caught your eye. Okay, what else have we got?
So the one after that is from Laughing Boy, who's actually been delving a little bit more into the world of Age of Sigmar again, and this is actually him working on the Endless Spells. Now, he's actually been working on these throughout the rest of the night, and he's done a couple more updated pics as well later on in the thread if you want to go and check these out. But this shows off just some of the interesting pieces that he's been working on here, working on the base colours and all that kind of thing. I think his idea that he was trying to get all of the everlasting spells done by the end of the evening, so it's been very nice seeing this come together. And of course, they give you some interesting ideas to sort of branch out beyond what you're normally doing with your miniatures, and you're trying to paint lots of different effects as well, and kind of using a lot of the techniques that maybe you'd use the terrain on these kind of pieces here as well, which is very cool. But yes, some absolutely fantastic pieces.
Interesting metals, yes.
Now this is very interesting because Roman, I saw you playing with some of these out in the hall earlier.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, is that a potential project we're going to see you working on soon?
I wouldn't say no to that. It might, it might be a future tutorial. Yes.
Ah, wonderful. So you can look over these, maybe get some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, before we head back to the hobby hall, then I think it's about time we give another prize, another Army Painter voucher. And this
Oh.
time it's up to you to choose, Ben. Who's it gonna be?
I may be slightly biased, but I'm going to give my voucher to Tony Sylvie for his amazing Cruiserker, because that coming along tonight has been absolutely fantastic, and it looks phenomenal. And even though I hate shrews for killing all my badges,
that was a sentence I didn't expect to hear tonight.
so yeah, I'm going to give my voucher to Tony Sylvie. I think he deserves it there for that one.
Okay, well done, Tony Sylvie.
Well done.
If
Well
you come, head over to Beast of War, go down below, you'll see a link that says prize claim, just fill out the form, and we'll get you sorted with that. In the meantime, we are going to head over to the Hobby Hall one more time, and then we will be back with the judges' final score and the reveal of the winner of the Celestial Genesis Painting Masters Invitational 2018.
Be still my heart.
Lance, over to you. Lance, I just did the dramatic.
No, there, it worked, finally. Somebody's going to be 10 grand richer tonight. And congratulations, Tony Sylvie, on winning that voucher. Tony won it, Lance, yes?
Yes, he did.
Yes, Tony won it. Okay, so, Lloydie, can we follow up with you again?
Yeah.
This way. Right.
I'm kind of giving up on this for now because I want to get this painted tonight.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. It's got texture to it.
Is it textured both sides?
No, it takes a long time to texture it.
Okay.
Don't know. Maybe if you put a load of washes color on it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We might have to speak up because I'm not sure how well you're hearing me on this microphone tonight. So.
All right, it's too difficult. It's too difficult. Gonna give up on that.
So what are you going to do now instead then?
Just spray it grey.
Okay, well let's do it.
No, well, I have to shake it up.
Oh, God. Yeah. So for anybody watching,
Shake your body now. Shake, shake, shake your Laura. Shake it all around.
Please stop.
all right. So for anybody at home, this is the actual official Beast of War technique for shaking it up. What are you looking for? Something to spray it in. Grab one of them boxes. Here. There's
Oi,
it. We're not going to use Justin's jock box. So what have we got? There we go.
The shake weight for hubby.
Okay. So we're going to see Lloyd's amazing priming technique. Okay. Looking very good, Lloyd.
Look at that. Huh? Look at that.
Are you just dusting it to try and get the basic effect and leave the dark?
It's like he's playing air hockey.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying not to blow it away because it's really light.
Nice.
Can you smell it yet, John?
I can smell it. It's very good.
Right. Ta-da!
Done?
Exciting stuff, huh?
Okay. So what's next then?
We'll have to wait for it to dry.
God, well, here things haven't got that bad that we're going to make you watch paint dry. Let's go on round and see what the John is up to. So John is furiously painting away here. He looks under pressure. In fact, I'm getting mind waves telling me, "Don't come near me at this point, please." John, you're painting stripes.
Yep, I'm painting straight lines as straight as possible.
Okay.
It's a
Any tips for anybody for people at home on how to paint straight lines as straight as possible?
practice. Yeah,
Okay.
don't shake.
Show us your technique, man.
All right.
Shake, 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 Sonora.
And talk.
And talk.
No
okay.
texturing, Lloyd.
So because I don't have the most steady hands in the world, I do it in little small motions and hold one hand with the other, as well as anchoring the brush on one finger as well as both hands. So and I'm still not getting a straight line, so I mean, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
The joy of this is, because I've only primed the model in Army Painter Skeleton Bone, is if I make a mess, I can just tidy it up with some of the base paint anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter so much if I mess it up. You don't need to be holding that to me. I have this.
All right.
I have that mic too.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But that's how I'm getting on with it. So this is meant to be the heraldry on the night, and I'm going to have to add some transfers and numbering to it later on as well. But we'll see how we get on with it.
Okay, fantastic. Right, I think it's that time. And I think according to the running orders, we're going to find out who the winners are. So let me transfer back over to Sam and Rama in the studio as they take us through the judges' final votes and we reveal the winner.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
It is that time.
Yes.
Oh, I am really excited for this. How have you been feeling, Rama?
It's a dream come true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's not keep them in suspense any longer.
No, please, do the honors.
Well, let's start with yourself.
Oh, really?
Now, I'll start by explaining. All of the judges had 10 points that they could give out.
We had points that we were to give out to up to 3 contestants.
Yeah, your top 3.
Top 3, and then all the judges explained their grading system a little and why they gave out the points they did give out.
Yeah, and I have a few of those comments here that we will be reading out. I won't go into all of them. Maybe we'll put them into a big article later on after the event.
I think it deserves it.
Yeah, most definitely. It needs to be capped off in some way.
At least do the highlights.
Yes. Well, to start with, Romain, for your 2 points, you gave them to Enrique Velasco and the Queen of the Void.
Yes.
Can you point to which one that was?
That was, I think...
Yes, Enrique.
That one, yes.
Just very briefly bring that under the camera. I won't do this for all of them, but since Roman's here. Enrique Velasco, Queen of the Void.
Yes, very, very meritorious.
And he said, best use of red, there's incredible textures, vivid colours, the best Queen of the Void in your opinion.
It's the one I like best. You know,
Okay.
purely subjectively, not from a technical standpoint or anything. It's the one I that really popped for me.
Okay, second, with 3 points, you gave the 3 points to Alexandra Svetanovsky. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that.
Sorry.
Svetanovsky with her Chiron.
Because of the sheer simplicity of it.
It is a wonderful piece. Classical painting scheme, incredible composition, lovely textures, and excellent ideas.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Then, for the 5 points,
yes,
we have Fabrizio Russo's Queen of the Void.
Yes, for the sheer work that was involved in it and the incredible freehand textures on the miniature.
Yeah, the textures are incredible. Okay, after you, we have Angel Geraldes. His 2 points were given to Enrique, who said they had great technique and the background is awesome. At 3 points, Fabrizio. The colours and the atmosphere are wonderful.
Yes.
And 5 points, Diego. That's Jurong.
The Jurong.
Yeah.
The one with the big Japanese gate, you remember.
Yeah, I'll bring it up on the screen here.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful picture there. Okay. Meanwhile, after that, we had Chris Handley. At 2 points, we had Ben Comets and Twilight.
Yes.
Again, another beautiful model, and they said, Ben has picked a model that is not as grand or imposing, but has brought out all the elements of the model that make you go, wow, what the hell is going on here? I'm quoting verbatim there. Next, we had Fabrizio for 3 points.
Yes.
There we go. I'm playing with the iPad here. Fabrizio for 3 points. This version of the Queen of the Void is a masterclass of again painting textures. In this case, the skin is cracked porcelain, which is again contrasted against the more insubstantial cloth. And for the 5 points, we have Enrique.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the judges' favorites as well.
Yeah, now Chris said, this is a stunning interpretation of the Queen of the Void, was able to render the model as if it were different materials such as the crystal skin, the metallics, and the cloth. Yeah. Next we had Tommy Saul, and his pick for 2 points was Nua
from Francesco Farabi.
Francesco Farabi. And I'll bring up here.
Yeah.
Now he said, this piece on first glance really jumps at me. My eye is immediately drawn to the face and body, which is great, and the way that the background creates atmospheric noises in my imagination is cool. It also really appeals to my comic book tastes and style. Yeah. For 3 points,
Sergio Calvo, yes.
Nua by Sergio Calvo.
Which, yeah, absolutely.
My eye is immediately drawn to here, and then once there, I start to wonder, what's on her mind? What is she creating? It is really interesting to hear the focus of the narrative on these models. For his 5 points, we have Gogong by Massimiliano Ricciero.
Yeah.
Which I will find here. Yeah. And he said, now this is storytelling here. I want to know it all. There's speed, greed, sadness, decay, magic, and more packed into this. I want to know more about all the characters involved. Which I totally agree. Then we move on to Thomas Menez. 2 points go to Massimiliano Ricciero and his Gogong.
Yes.
He said, I like what he did here. I like the face of the figure on the sled. I like the water textures on the sled, the alien image of this horrible creature juxtaposed with the sadness in the female face. It is the beginning of a truly gorgeous piece oozing atmosphere. His 3 points go to Alexandra Shevetinovsky with her Girong. Where'd she go? Technical difficulties. Here we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. Is that I like her style. I like how she managed to make a scene with this model without adding too much extra. Contrary to Fabrizio, she immediately showed what she wanted to create and stuck to it. And his 5 points go to Fabrizio Rosso with his Queen of the Void. For a few reasons. It tells a story more than any of the other contestants. This is more than a nicely painted miniature. This is a battle. It is a stunning model and one that you can keep looking at. The different textures, the different colours, the different parts of the model. There is always something new to discover. And he especially likes how Fabrizio used the concept of the competition the best, which he talked about with us earlier.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Next we have Dave Taylor's choices. And at 2 points, we have Diego Esteban Perez, which I believe was Girong. Yep.
Yep, that's the one.
Not Girong, sorry. Zahydrol.
Zidrol.
Zidrol.
Is that
Thank
Zahydrol? I have no idea.
Zidrol sounds better.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's the flesh of this monster that is the real winner. So brilliantly layered in ways we never really consider for flesh of any kind. Diego displays awesome technical skills. Definitely. The flesh
really
of the
went to
belly.
town,
yeah.
yes.
The flesh of its belly is one of the things that stands out to me too. For his 3 points, we have Enrique Velasco Sanchez. And simply put, I love the red. The textural work on the various surfaces is beautiful. I love the way the pose, conversion work, the addition of the spear, and the colour is used to draw the eyes around the model. Yeah. And for 5 points, we have...
We have?
I think I'll make a cup of tea.
I think so, yeah.
Sergio Calvo Rubio with Nua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The base was a bold attempt, really.
It was. And to Dave Taylor, there's an incredible simplicity in this presentation. A clarity that directs your eyes towards the wonderfully executed face. This face is both innocent and world-weary at the same time. Yeah, indeed, the face is one of the things that drew me to the Nua model in particular. It's probably my favourite model of the range.
Yes, it's very classical, but at the same time very original.
Dave actually added 2 runners-up to his list. So Antonio Peña Jimenez
yes.
and Alexandra Shevetinovsky.
Yes.
So,
Again.
Near misses. Now we come to Ruben Martinez. Now Ruben has written pages. Just pages for his comments. He's got a lot to say on these.
All
it's
very
wonderful.
well justified. But
Oh, very much
yes,
so.
can we read all of it? I don't know.
I don't think I have the breath.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 points go to Fabrizio Rusto. Of all the participants, he has risked the most. I was surprised by the final result, creating a scene that evokes the epic and mysticism that is deduced from a fight between deities.
It really goes well with the whole range, actually, and the backstory.
Yes, it fits the theme very well. Then we have 3 points for Francesco. He says, his version of Nua is surely the most balanced piece of the entire contest. It does not stand out above the other pieces in anything, but the average in all its sections is high. It combines a great technique, a simple but effective use of colour, and a very careful presentation.
And I must say it's even better in person.
It is. I absolutely adore that piece.
Yes.
And for 5 points, they go to Enrique Velasco. His version of the Queen of the Void is the most spectacular piece of the contest from the point of view of painting. As regards the technical part, it has a definition that we could call HD painting and a smoothness in all its gradients that give to the whole a sense of impeccable finish. Impeccable.
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 It is impeccable.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Indeed. Well, we took all of the judges' comments together, we took their marks, and we added them with the community votes that you saw earlier. Taken all together, we have our winner. The winner is...
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
It's a very small drum roll.
It's a very small... Yeah. The winner is Fabrizio Rusto.
And bravo.
Yes. A big congratulations to Fabrizio.
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah. And now, for the biggest prize, we've got him in here with us.
Yep.
Fabrizio, thank you for your patience sitting behind the screen for all of that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very
and
much.
And a big congratulations. I think I would cheer really loudly right now, but I happen to know his kid's asleep, so quiet cheering! Fabrizio,
really,
congratulations.
Congrats,
Thank you very much. Really.
It's well deserved.
Thank you, and to all the Dimension Games, all the judges and the public. Really, thank you very much. All my colleague, all the painters involved. It was very, very nice. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Now, Fabrizio, I won't keep you too long because I've already filmed the Skype interview with you.
Yeah.
And we had a good old chat about this beautiful model. So if you want to see that, you can always check back. But just tell me a few points about this model. What gave you the idea to paint it this way?
Maybe it was just a feeling with the figure. So it was quite natural painted like that. I'm not a big fan of strong colors. I'm not a big fan of. I really like to paint in a natural way. So that was the only way I can do that, and so it was natural for me to create this kind of effect. If you mean the crack effect is born easily to tell the story of a queen, that it could be a strong queen, but even a fragile figure. So that's maybe the most important part of the painting and of the story I want to tell. So that's it.
It is spectacular.
It is.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well earned win there, Fabrizio.
Yes.
Thank you so much for participating in this event. And indeed, thank you to all the painters. You guys, you put in so much effort with these.
You went above and beyond in such little time.
And you have helped us a lot in getting everything organized for this.
Yeah.
Everyone involved, the judges, the painters, the guys at Dimension Games.
Everyone was on time. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for helping us with this and for sending us such beautiful, beautiful miniatures.
And thank you for all, to all the viewers who voted on Facebook.
Indeed.
And who followed that on Beasts of War.
Okay, I'm actually, Fabrizio, I'm going to hide your face one quick second because we do have the final vote table here. I'm just going to bring that up. Okay, eventually it'll come up. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yes.
The final vote tally. So as you can see, we have Fabrizio Russo with his Queen of the Void in
Very
first
close
place.
behind Enrique, of course.
Yep. Then third, Massimiliano Ricciero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some very...
Very interesting. Very close scores too.
Yes.
It's not really. It's all about the technique. It's all about the story. It's all about the pictures, and it's all about playing that game of progressive of engaging the viewers with the progressive pictures as well. You know.
Okay.
Not everyone is capable of that.
Indeed. Well, again, a big thank you to everyone and a massive congratulations to Fabrizio.
Yeah, bravo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Are you going to take a well-earned break after this now? Have a little relax?
Yeah, for sure. I will do a little holiday, okay? Yeah. So this is my cheers, okay?
Well, I'm going to steal Warren's gin a second. Cheers, Fabrizio.
Yeah. Cheers.
And with that, we're going to head back to the hobby studio and see how everyone's getting on. Thank you all for joining us for the Celestial Painting Masters Invitational competition.
Cheers, Fabrizio. Superb. Okay, I also want to just restate a massive thank you to Yuchuan, Byron, Ruben's over at Dimensions Games and all the other guys involved in that. To all of our painters that entered, you have been wonderful, inspirational. To all of the judges were absolutely fantastic. We're going to be writing up some deep articles where you can read the insights in full that came back from the judges. It's fascinating what they see in a model compared to what we see in a model. And then, most of all, thank you to all of you guys for tuning in, not only tonight, but to tune in for the articles that we've been writing about this, the videos we've been putting up about this, and especially for going over to that Facebook page and voting. Right. Back to Hobby Night Live. Okay, Lance, how you doing, man?
I'm gluing some rockets together.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got it all built up so far.
Yeah.
Apart from the top, but I've got some plans for this because rather than usually you put the anchor here.
Yeah.
But I want to get some jewelry chains and attach it down so it is turning, and you have little cannonballs falling out.
Yeah.
It should be a little bit more interesting rather than just a floating ship.
Mm-hmm. I've always had an interest in chains, and maybe you guys can help me with this, right? Has anybody created a product which is metal chain link, but it's kind of like a solid piece of metal chain link? So the links aren't loose. The links are all connected, so you could actually bend the metal chain link into intricate shapes.
Well, yeah, it would be the wee balls, the wee bearing balls.
Justin, have you seen this?
I have seen it sculpted into Privateer Press miniatures, where you will get a length of that in some of the miniatures, and you get to bend it to shape.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's an actual product out there. Would love to know if anybody creates length of simulation metal chain, but is rigid, but you can kind of bend it, because then you could use that to suspend the model rather than having to put it on a base.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd like to do. So
yeah. Okay, right. Let's mosey on around a little bit further. John, how are you getting on, mate? You're onto the metallics.
Yeah, I've got my heraldry down now.
Oh, that's nice. Can we get a close up there of John's paint station?
There you go. So I've got the heraldry on the shoulder, and I'm now working on the gold metallic sort of outline of all the panels and stuff. So it's getting there, and I've been doing the rest of the panels as well. So they'll all be weathered separately once the actual body's all dipped and whatnot, and then after that it's down to detailing and weathering. So
Well, now is a good time, John, possibly for us to have a look at the night. Can you
Okay.
talk us through that? Because that's kind of you're going for the same effect. So if you could take us through some of the bits and pieces that you've done on that.
Yep.
I wonder will that bad boy sit on that?
Oh, he does.
He will. Yeah.
I'll move all this out of the way. What in particular do we want to talk about here on this guy? Because he's done essentially the same way as the little ones coming up.
Yeah. If you go into the details on him, then that you haven't got to yet.
Well, sure. Once all the base colors are down, so the red, the bone, the gold, all the deep metallic parts, all like the big mechanical parts, all get a dark tone quick shade, the Army Painter dip. After that's dry, it's matte coated. Then it's given a second dry brush of a brighter silver, and then it's dipped again, but in a strong tone instead. After that, then all the panels get their strong tone dip, and then we start weathering it. So a little bit of chipping. So there's a tiny bit of chipping and stuff you can see on the top once the decals are on as well. And after that, it's matte coat it and highlight it. And then on plasma, there's just a bit of white, blue wash, and a white highlight. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
When you say dipped, you don't literally mean
Oh,
dipped.
heck
It
no.
comes out of a dipped tin, but it's not dipped.
No, it's brushed on.
Yeah, so
It's
is it like
brushed
a
on.
really thin glaze or what?
Yeah, it's just brushed on fairly heavily, actually. It's basically just using a brush about that size, so it's an actual dry brush, and then
Yeah.
just, stippled on and then brushed into place, and it just settles down really nicely. I don't like dipping it because then you get the big runoff areas, and then you get too much shading down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it looks complex, but there's really not a lot to it, technically.
Okay, right. Back to the comments. We're getting some feedback in already on the chain. So, Oriskany, you still up, mate? This is awesome. I'm glad to see you're still sticking around, historical editor. Right. So, Oriskany says for chain, have you thought about burning the fuzz off a pipe cleaner? The wire inside is flexible, rigid. It holds its shape, takes paint and wash. Actually, depending on the scale, it might look better than cable. Jerry says he's never seen cast chains. He knows because he's looked for them, so he's had to kind of solder them together. Maybe we could get some practice with a soldering iron, Lance. That could be the way to go. NS Ogre says you can get any size jewelry chain cheap at Walmart. Yes, I know we can get the chain, but I want that chain to be rigid and hard. If you can find that, yes. But flexible. Bendable, yes. Add a bit of white spirit to the dip, Laughing Boy says, John.
Yep.
As somebody was saying you could soak a chain in super glue, you could, but what happens is the super glue will just basically fill in all of the holes. NS Ogre has used metal chains for dragons. Right.
You could maybe try PVA. Maybe you'd have some flex.
I don't know. Maybe. Right.
See,
So
I was looking into chains because I have ideas of what to do with chains as well.
there is a very important piece of hobby. We haven't been able to show it all night. Romain has been working on it all day today, and it is it's a new release from Games Workshop. My wire is caught around Lance. There we go, Lance. Lance, I'm still stuck on you, man. Romain has been working on the official Games Workshop Spiky Bollock of Doom. Let's check this one out. Whoa! Romain, do you want to take us through what you're doing on it, man?
Yes, I've been working on that big AIDS virus thing. It is the official name is actually the Purple Son of Shaish.
The Purple Son of Shaish.
Shaish. Shaish. Yes, Shaish.
Shaish.
Shaish. Anyway, that's it's John that's put it together, and oh my goodness, it is a beautiful and huge model, and I'm going to make a tutorial out of it, no doubt. I have been filling the gaps because it takes it's very easy to put together, but there are lines and gaps and everything that you have to fill with, for example, liquid green stuff and the like. I've used several different putties to enhance the texture here and there. You know, it takes a lot because the model is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I absolutely. Are you going to paint that while you're over here? Is that going to be part of the tutorial series?
Oh, yes.
Oh God, I think I'm going to die. I love it.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm so happy. And the reason I'm happy is because if you have never seen it, you need to go and check out Romain's big red, throbbing, one-eyed red beholder. It is amazing. And then when you've checked that out,
The beholder.
yes. And when you've checked that out, his purple worm is magnificent.
Yes, the worm. The worm is.
Oh, I can't wait to see his big spiky bollock of doom from Games Workshop. Games Workshop, you can copyright that and take that name to the bank. Right, round to see Lloydie. Ludwig, what have you been up to? You look like you're taking a hobby break, man.
I'm just waiting.
Oh, you're waiting for us?
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting on this to dry because
Well, we're all here now.
I sprayed it grey and then I've given it a dip.
Yeah.
Well, not a dip.
That's not a dip. That's a strong tone.
A dark tone.
Is it a dark tone?
A dark tone wash.
Yeah.
You getting this on camera? Here, John. Let's throw this on.
Stick it under John's camera. Right.
Oh, don't touch it too much though. It's still very wet.
Oh, it's all
Okay.
supple. That's wonderful.
So you can see it's still drying out, and then it's going to get a dry brush, and then I would put like moss and stuff on it to cover up any crappy bits that I don't like, because you know when you're bashing something together in 3 hours and showing it off on camera and stuff, you just want to get to the end of the project, man.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a bish bash bosh.
Bish bash bosh.
As for that chain stuff, I've been looking into chains because I have ideas of what to do with chains as well.
Well, tell me, man.
Well, I don't want to give it away on.
Oh, come on.
In advance.
Pull me out of my misery, man. Commodore Rob, the curator, as he is now known, has used brass etched chain. Now, there's
That's
a
going to be
possibility.
super sharp, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, yes.
Super sharp, that.
I wonder how thick you can etch brass.
You see, you were after little tiny chains, whereas I want big chains.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
There is another option.
Yeah.
I wonder, could you 3D print chain link and then put it into hot water to get the bend that you need from the PLA?
Does it bend under hot water?
I would imagine that you would get enough heat out of.
Wait a minute.
Out of
Surely
of
you
that
could
hot
just
water.
cast it in resin then, because resin does bend when you heat it up. Isn't that right?
Resin is more.
Oh, it's going to be
fragile.
brittle.
Yeah,
isn't it?
brittle's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
Brass edged is the one you want.
Roman, he agrees. He says brass etched
Because
is the one we want.
It starts out flat, but you shape it so that it's 3D, and then you can shape it any way you want.
Okay, Jerry says he can get you any size change you want, Lloydie.
Is he going to get them from Europe?
Bring him back.
Special Europe chains?
Yeah, Jerry's on tour with a heavy metal band at the moment, isn't he, or something?
Something like that. He's full.
Yeah.
I think he's full on Pearl Jam around Europe.
Uh-huh.
And I get these drunken pictures of just arms.
Jerry, it's nice to be you, man. It is nice to be you. I hope you're having fun over there. Right. I think that wraps us up for this evening. It has been an absolute pleasure, Hobby Night living with you once again. And we will not leave it so long now until the next one, now that we're starting to find our feet again after the hectic launch that has been 2.0. For anybody that's wondering, we will be back in tomorrow morning for The Weekender and Sunday for XLBS. I've been thinking about a bit of a mind melter for you, Justin.
I'm nervous.
You should be nervous. No, don't be nervous about this one. This one's a sweet one. I think you'll like this one.
I'm still nervous.
I think you'll like this one. Right. Once again, thank you to everybody that's tuned in with us tonight. It has been an absolute blast, as always. Tonight was brought to you by the kind sponsorship of Gaz Noidechat and his 2 bottles of amazing gin. We are now going to go and decimate them. 3 bottles of amazing gin. Okay. 3.
One went to bed.
Well, one went to Ben. All right. Well, 3 bottles of amazing gin. It's the best sponsorship we could ever have hoped for. I don't think we can top this, guys. I think we'll just close after this. I think this is the highlight. Right. Thank you so much, guys. It's been our pleasure. We will see you again soon, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you bright and early tomorrow morning for some weekendering.